we're at a point where we're just anybody and everybody is really running out of critical thinking skills. Like people really are not able to think for themselves, or they're afraid to let what they really think be known. So whatever everybody rocking with, that just be what they rocking with, even if they not rocking with it. But if a motherfucker say, "Hey, I ain't rocking with that," all of a sudden now you become a hater. It's almost like it's like this global peer pressure. It's this global group think where it's like, nah, either you gonna feel like I feel about this, or I'm gonna put a negative connotation on
That,
you.
that
And
shit irritates the fuck out of me. I can't have my own opinion. If I don't agree with you, then my whole opinion, everything, I'm dumb, I'm this. And you really ready to fight me about my motherfucking opinion.
bruh,
I mean, you really got an attitude with me about my opinion. Are you serious? Is this what we about to go through?
yeah,
Definitely,
and well, have you
because
second guess
everybody always
yourself?
thinks their way is right.
Yeah. It ain't. It's nothing. I don't understand why it's so hard for people to like just say, okay, I can see where you coming from, even though I don't agree with it.
Hmm.
I can see it, but I just don't agree with that. Okay, that's cool.
A lot of people, they really in real life not trying to be funny. They can't see it. They're so used to not thinking anything other than what TV tell them to think or what somebody else tell them to think. They really can't see your point of view. So I don't even, like I said, yeah, you second guessing yourself. I had to call May like, hey, let me run this by you and make sure I'm not tripping. And maybe, you know what I mean, I'm not a hater because, you know, May keep me all the way in check. And if I think I'm doing too much or maybe I'm looking at something wrong, I'll call her and be like, so am I tripping? Because I have a tendency, I'm a Virgo, we perfectionists, we have a tendency to be a little arrogant. And I'm like, let me make sure I'm not just tripping on my own shit. You know what I mean? Getting drunk on
Right.
my own wine. And once I ran it past, I was like, okay, so I'm not tripping. Y'all motherfuckers is really out here afraid for anybody to disagree with y'all. Like, why are y'all so afraid of disagreement? I just like it's that white people shit. Like, y'all so busy trying to keep whatever it is that makes you comfortable going, that the moment somebody says something that doesn't go with that, you automatically see them as an enemy or somebody you can't trust or somebody that's quote unquote hating all because they're saying something or they're feeling something different from whatever it is you feel. It's cool to be different. That's what the fuck we here for, bro. Like, ain't nothing
I
wrong with
thought we was all different. Shit,
Exactly. I mean, if everybody was the same, then what the fuck?
it would be so fucking boring. Unless everybody was like me though, because they was like me, then it'd
I
be
know
like,
if they was like us, then they'd be fine. The world would
it.
be a great place.
Typical Taurus. Got Willie on y'all.
do you feel like though? Think about it. Do you feel like that's a form of they just don't love themselves enough? I think it's a lack of love for yourself that you don't think you can love yourself enough to think that you can be different. Like you depend on somebody. You have to be part of anything to feel like you part of something, and that shit is just blows my fucking mind.
Because I'm good with myself. So,
Yeah,
right.
I'm cool with being with myself. So unless I don't love myself in the aspect in which I feel like it's saying I don't love myself, so I don't like being around myself. I don't like being me. I need to be in this crowd because they make me feel like somebody else, and I can pretend to be that because I don't love myself enough to be real with myself.
Exactly.
I mean, but I mean, it's not like everybody at some point hasn't been there. Like that's part of life. Part of finding out who you are is finding out who you not. And everybody think that the opposite of love is hate. That's why they be like, when somebody loves something and you don't like it, they call you a hater. They call you a hater. They call you a hater. But like fear, hate is not the other side of fear. Love, it's fear. Fear and hate are pretty much the same thing. And when people tell me like, oh, you a hater, like I said, I feel like, okay, you're just saying that you're disturbed by my opinion. I get it. You're afraid of the fact that I think differently from you. And it's gotten to the point where it's down to the smallest thing. It used to be big issues, you know what I mean? Politics, religion, shit like that. It's getting to the point where you can't talk about nothing with
Nothing.
anybody anymore because
No.
everybody's terrified of a difference of a fucking opinion. It's because we don't have nothing left.
It ain't sweet. It's bitter. No, it's sweet. That's why they call it sweet. No, it ain't. Okay, my bad. It ain't sweet to you. Okay, that's cool. Let me back up. But that's how stupid this shit get. Is get that ignorant.
Yeah,
You
but
know
as far
that.
as like self-love is concerned, I think that's what everybody's struggling with it right now, and especially black people, and I get it. Like it's everybody went through their own little journeys to get here. Like I said, I wasn't somebody who always loved myself, and when I didn't, you know what I mean, I behaved in ways that you know what I mean, that would indicate that I did things that I wouldn't have done had I loved myself better. But without those things and finding out who I'm not and what I don't want, that's how I found out who I was and what I do want. And I was able to learn to love myself. But a lot of people ain't willing to apologize to themselves. A lot of people still hold themselves with a whole bunch of guilt. You have a whole bunch of regret, especially people in my age group. You know what I mean? I'm 40. So, you know what I mean? I got a few decades of, you know what I mean, wrong decisions behind me that I could sit around and beat myself up for and say I deserve this, that, and the third. But at some point, you got to forgive yourself, even for the shit that you did to yourself. Not just for the stuff you feel like you did to everybody else, but what you did to yourself. Because until you heal yourself and you atone to yourself, because you owe yourself an apology first, then you can apologize to others and mean that. Then you can love others and mean that. But you can't love nobody if it comes with a bunch of restrictions and, well, you got to do this, you got to do that. If you don't love me, I used to be like that too. Everybody always worried about they could trust somebody. Like, it's because you can't trust yourself. You can't trust yourself to not be so vulnerable and so desperate for whatever reason you participating in a situation that you would rather either just not participate or participate only to a certain degree or put somebody through a bunch of bullshit trying to prove that they love you, when if you loved yourself, you wouldn't have to worry about somebody love you. You'd only be attracted to people that love you.
Right.
Period.
And you will feel, and I think you notice it and you feel it even sooner when you love yourself. You can notice that real love from that fake love because you're giving it. You're not going to expect nothing less than what you give yourself.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So if somebody is bringing you something that's not something you bring to yourself or would consider for bringing to yourself, it can't be love. It can't be love. If I'm telling you that I don't smoke crack, but you always want to come around me with some crack talk about you should try this, how do you, and then turn around and tell me you love me? How?
Because of their definition of love. They're an addict. They're in love with fucking crack. To them, sharing that feeling, because to them it's not a bad thing. That's why they're smoking crack and they have no problem letting people know they smoke crack. So their definition of love is crack. That's what it is with an addict. Their definition, the same thing with sex. Some people's definition of love is sex. Some people's definition of love is I pay the bills. And we don't have any common ground on what love means. Somebody tell you they love you, then you should ask them what you mean by that. Otherwise, you're basically saying, I'm just going to subject myself to whatever your definition of that word is. So if your definition of love is you pay the bills but give me nothing spiritually, you give me nothing intellectually, you give me nothing intimacy-wise, but you make sure all the bills are paid, and I'm running around this motherfucker cheating on you because somebody with a broke nigga that listened to me, it's because we don't have the same definitions of what we expect out of that word. People last when they have the same definitions of things, when you have a common understanding of something. The word love is subjective. It's different to everybody. The child who grows up with proper, healthy love, their definition is going to be different than somebody who feels like they got their ass kicked every day and their parents' definition of love was, well, bitch, did I kill you, though?
Right.
You know what I mean? When that person meets that other person, that's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. But what we have is a bunch of people that come from fucked up definitions of love. So then when we're meeting each other, everybody is just running up into fucked up reflections of themselves. Black people don't know nothing about love no more on a collective level.
It irritates my soul. Like, that's why you really, I don't know about y'all, but I done kind of backed off the Black Lives Matter conversations and all that, because to me, don't get me wrong, yeah, Black Lives Matter, but if it don't matter to you enough to stop killing your own, how the hell you expect somebody else to think it matter to us? Exactly. Don't get me wrong, but see, my mindset, like I tell people, because I love myself from a different aspect. I love my life from the aspect that I know truths. Fuck what somebody told me. When this shit was all, this police beating us is nothing new. The police killing us, this shit is nothing new. Motherfuckers hanging us is nothing new. Understand this shit been going on since the day we set foot on this motherfucking this continent, when they drug us the fuck over here. So what they doing for me, I love myself enough to know them motherfuckers doing exactly what they did, been intending for this shit to do. This is why they created all this shit, to do exactly what it's doing. It just look different now. But you motherfuckers ain't got sense enough to understand it. I keep trying to tell you. If you love yourself, you'll love yourself enough to open your mind to being objective to different things, in my opinion. I can't tell myself I love myself, and I refuse to let somebody put some knowledge in my head.
Yep, but like I said, we all got a fucked up. We think loving ourselves is buying ourselves expensive cars
And the most
Yeah.
and
expensive
getting our
clothes.
nails and our toes and
You
shit
break
done
it
and
up.
all type of goofy
You
shit.
break it up.
We call that
You breaking up.
Yep, you breaking up. She headed to the stoop.
Yeah. But you know her signal fucks up when she out there.
Yeah, but well, maybe we birthday twins, so I already know our mind is already. But that shit don't. I can't. It's sad that you can't even talk about this shit with their ass though, without them getting that
Exactly.
fucking
Without
mad.
them getting mad because when you hold that conversation, the first thing that they say is, "Oh, well, it's okay for us to kill us because that's an act of survival." What? How is that?
That's cool. That's so wrong on two ends to me though. One, the fact that you say it's survival, and two, I got to protect myself from you. We don't look alike, but we the same color. It's a
Yes.
shame. I said this to somebody the other day, and they thought I was crazy, but I'm real life. The ghettos and shit that I done walked through and I done hung through. If I had a choice of if I was walking down the street and I seen two police cars parked on this side of the street and a mob of 15 niggas pants sagging, loud music, cussing, throwing up gang signs, and woo, 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 woo.
I'm walking
Oh,
through
my mama, I'm walking on the side of the street with the
where them
police.
niggas is at.
Fuck what you talking about. I'm walking over there I'm going to be nervous walking over there too. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't going to be scared to the point where they only go, if I don't, as long as I don't bother them and I play it cool and I slide, because y'all distracting them for me. So long as I can slide right on past y'all, past them, I'm good. Yeah, I can't slide past you niggas. Y'all gonna notice me.
And I didn't walk past the I didn't walk through the niggas, to be honest with you, because some people would call it naive or whatever, but I feel like them is my people. If it has to be,
that's how I should feel.
Right. I feel like
I should feel nowhere near bad about walking between y'all.
Exactly. But I feel like if it comes to something where you do something to me, of course, then you have no choice but to defend yourself. But I still don't automatically feel like, oh, fear, let me cross the street because there's 15 niggas sitting here. Fuck y'all. I'm going to walk through and, hey, how y'all doing? And keep on going.
I ain't fucking with you. That's just me. Not now. Back in the day, you know what I'm saying? All right, yeah, woo, but not these motherfuckers is low. And I hate that I had to feel that way.
Right.
And the thing about it is, when I feel that way, and I know me, I know there's some other people out there that feel that same way.
Yeah.
And when you get that type of energy together, our energies is all off, man. This is all off.
like motherfucking zombie apocalypse out this bitch. But at the end of the day, I was just like I said, I have a lot of kids that are like, oh my god, I got kids. I got lots of kids. So they kind of like my eyes and ears to, what I mean, what's going on right now. Like I said, I done got my ass back on the porch quite a while ago. But one thing I've noticed, like these kids are the type of motherfucking tired and fed up in their 20s that we are in our 40s. And a lot of times I don't think we give our kids enough credit for that because we didn't love ourselves enough because so early in life you were taught that your blackness had less value than other things. A lot of us decided we was gonna try to trade ours for something, you know what I mean? Degrees, politics. Everybody wants to be something other than black first. You know what I mean? I'm a child of God before I'm anything. Oh, I'm a Republican. You ain't none of that shit, but your ass is motherfucking black. And no matter what else you call yourself attaching yourself to, unless you learn to love your own black ass self first, you're gonna have a problem. And black people are behind the 8 ball in that. Like, I know it's a global problem, but I'm not trying to be funny. I don't give a fuck about other groups of people right now. I just don't. Because those same groups of people are going to be the same people that are going to need people that look like me to save them. So I need to make sure I'm healthy enough to be discerning so I'm not just offing motherfuckers because they don't look like me.
Exactly.
That's my thing. The motherfuckers just don't understand. Hey, if it ain't about us, I don't give a shit about what nobody else is talking about. Fuck the police killing us. Let's get back. And do y'all really want to be about it, then start fighting back then. Because you motherfuckers, some of this shit we doing is ignorant too.
So
that's another thing that pisses me off. We got to start taking accountability.
I had ran across a post that I had posted on Facebook. It had to been like about 5 to 7 years ago. And it ruffled a little feathers, but it was like it opened up subliminal posts. Nobody really directly commented because they never do to me. I don't know why. But I had posted, I was like, it's nice that I said, this is really for you woke or conscious people. I said, and I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong with the awakening. I said, but you're making people aware of things, which and you're alerting them and pointing out this, and you're downing, oh, you celebrating the 4th of July, oh, you celebrating Christmas. First of all, we all grew up doing that. Don't try to change the bullshit now or knock me because I did it. But you pointing out all this horrible stuff that the man is doing to us and the government is doing to us and white people, period, are doing to us. Okay, you pointed, for those that maybe didn't notice it, okay, you made us see it, but now what? You just instilling the fear and the anger, but now what's next? Nobody never has a question, never has an answer.
You know what?
I don't want to hear you talk. Let's do something.
That's why I stopped talking. That's why I'm like, man, okay, I don't agree with the rioting, but I understand it.
Right. It was, at least you did something.
I totally understand it because y'all never listen till we start tearing shit up.
Right.
I understand it, but my thing is, what comes after the rioting?
Right.
What do we do after that? Because we do this shit, they appease us like they doing right now. They giving us any fucking thing we ask for, they letting us have it. But we asking for the wrong shit. Oh, change the fucking Redskins fuotball emblem.
That's the thing. No, we're not asking for that. That shit that they just motherfucking do.
That's what they offering to make us shut up. They like, here.
But the problem is, why are you asking for anything? As long as we ask them for any fucking thing, they know they have power because you're asking me. It's just like if somebody comes to me and they ask me for something, I still have the power because whatever it is you feel like you need, you're asking me for it. Right. You need me. And it's the other way around. So until people are willing to get uncomfortable to prove a motherfucking point, kind of like, you know when you get tired of the way a nigga talk to you or the way a female talk to you, and you just be like, all right, I ain't gonna say shit to you till you learn how to talk to me. You can argue all day, but don't nothing get a motherfucker like you not saying shit to them. And that is the problem. Every time they do something to black people, the first thing we want to do is start screaming and fucking hollering and crying. And cameras just done fucked everything up because now we crying all over fucking Facebook. We crying all over fucking Instagram. We whining, we complaining, we doing the most. And if we're not crying and complaining, then we're getting completely radicalized and we going, oh, I'm gonna buy guns and I'm gonna do X, Y, Z and I'm gonna whoop de whoop de whoop and I'm gonna blah 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 blah. Black people seem to think we only have, people in general, but black people who I'm worried about seem to think we only have one or two choices. You don't have to get down on your knees and cry, and you also don't have to pick up a gun and kill anybody that's not trying to actively kill you. What you can do is shut the fuck up. What you can do is turn your ass around in your own motherfucking household and start breaking some of them curses. Go ahead and start taking some accountability for the role you played in fucking up your own family and your own community and start with your own fucking kids. I'm so tired of hearing about black men and black women and, oh, it's a gender war and blah. First of all, y'all got me fucked up when the war motherfucker, if some shit jumped the fuck off, I'm not looking for not near motherfucking niggas. You know who's great run out and slit throats behind me? My children.
Period.
My children are gonna get out here and slit throats behind their mama. The one I birthed and all the ones that God brought me. They gonna slit throats about me, not some goofy ass motherfucking nigga.
Come on, man.
We don't love ourselves, so therefore we can't extend that love. So every time we talk about love, we don't even talk about romantic love anymore. We don't even talk about remembering how to love our kids.
Everything is about sex. Love now is fucking.
Facts.
You know what? It's crazy because, you know, especially as a man, we've been taught for so long that we're not supposed to be emotional and we're not supposed to be this.
And I never agreed with that.
I don't give a fuck. If I feel like crying, I'm gonna cry. I don't give a damn who around. If I feel like whatever, it don't matter. But at the end of the day, it's like emotions is raw, man. You can't hide that shit. And this is the shit, nigga. I'm letting all my shit out because I love myself and know that this shit stressed me out to where I had a stroke. So nah, what the fuck you want to know, huh? I ain't got nothing to hide.
Right.
Facts.
Ain't got nothing to be ashamed of.
And
Nothing
the
that
fucked
I
up
have
part,
done
That's
in
why
my
when they
life
be
I'm
taking down
ashamed
all
of
this
doing.
transparency shit now, I be like, bitch, y'all just now catching up. My life, I've been an open book. I don't give a fuck whatever I done. If it's time, if we on a subject or something that I can talk about, I'm not ashamed of shit I done because I wouldn't have done it. So I talk about whatever. If I feel some type of way, like you said, if I feel like crying, I'ma cry. I don't give a fuck. If
I
you
get
don't like
so
it,
sick of waking up
fine.
every morning and
Like,
then getting on Facebook and seeing somebody I know that died and got killed. Like Royce Offset, that's my dude. You know what I'm saying? He gets. What the fuck is we going on in this world so bad that you niggas gotta kill each other like this, and probably over some pet?
bruh.
because they killing themselves. Everything outside of you is a reflection, and that's the thing. Like people think that black boys are not taught to show an emotion. Now y'all encouraged to show emotion as long as it's anger.
Yeah,
Yep. That's
yeah.
the only one.
You can let you cry, they gonna swear up and down you gay, but let you start busting motherfuckers upside the head.
You
Oh, he a
real
head
nigga.
buster.
Oh, look at that little nigga.
He about that life. I hear grown men. I get my son. Like you bitches go ahead run your mouth and then sick your sons on people. You
Yes,
treat your
you should
sons
be
like
fucking
you
your
treat
kids up,
you
killing
treat
your
your kids like
fucking kids.
right. Treat your damn sons like fucking pit bulls or some fucking shit.
But
But
Yes.
that's like you said, that's that curse we gotta break. That's that generational curse we gotta break and get back to teaching our young men and our kids. And I hate to say it, but this group now don't love themselves at all. There's a few of them.
Yes.
You get a
Oh,
few of them. But most of these motherfuckers now don't love themselves at all. So we grab the ones that do. Still love themselves and still want a better place to live, and we educate them. And then we take the kids, my grandkids, the other our generation's and we cultivate them because these motherfuckers here is gone. They gone.
sure.
It's gonna be hard to bring some of them niggas back. You gonna literally have to knock these little niggas upside their head every day.
some of them
And
was
one
never
of them don't
here.
want to kill you. And I
Some
ain't
of
got
them was
time for
never
that.
here. Never was here. We get like when that teenage pregnancy thing started. Like I said, I got a few years on me, but like I said, when they started making this normal thing of you just having babies young and out of wedlock and like, oh, you should be able to do that and woo. You have to understand like when there's more to being down here than just, your physical body and what goes on with you. Just because you're capable of that, that's fine. But you're also something else when you're that fucking young. You're toxic. You don't know who you are yet. You have a bunch of mistakes you need to make. You need a whole bunch of shit you have to go through before you're wise enough to even have anything to offer another human being. But we've gone ahead and let people go ahead and start doing this shit, from 11 and up. And then you wondering why you have all these fucked up toxic ass kids, and then they're bringing toxic, while they're toxic, they're getting together, mingling this toxic ass behavior and producing toxic offspring. Some of these kids don't have a chance just based on where their parents were when they had them. It's a whole bunch of people that's going on. Like I said, we got oxy babies, molly babies, lean babies, perk babies. We got babies of all varieties. Like I said, I was lucky.
We're back when we was coming up. We had Luther babies, Key Sweat babies.
Bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Babies,
Jodeci
all of that shit.
babies.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We was love. We thought we was love making, but we had.
But you know what? What happened by the time even we were 8 years old? Crack.
Yeah.
By the time our generation even got to be of any type of age to even start thinking about who we were, they ran through our fucking families like wildfire.
Man, they tore us down.
Snatched not just our fathers, but our mamas. You know how fucked up that is when you run through a fucking community and you don't just snatch the mothers, but the fathers too. When you snatch everything out the home.
One thing, that's one thing I will say that I'm glad about. That part as far as my parents, I didn't have to go through. Neither one of my parents went into that. I just went through that too. Right. I just went through the absentee father thing and the.
I can't even say that.
Right, but where I wasn't loved properly by my father, though, my uncle was that. But then he got taken away from me. Me and my uncle were close in age, but he was more like a father figure to me. He got killed when I was 18 and he was 25. But before he left here, he let me know, hey, this how the nigga's supposed to love you if he can't. And it was still material shit. He taught me other shit on the other side too, but it wasn't as much as the material shit. But he would tell me, hey, if a nigga do this, if a nigga say, if he was like, I do what I do. He said, so if you get you a nigga that's hustling or whatever, he said, and I go home to my bitch every night. He said, so if a nigga can't make it home, fuck him. He would teach me little shit. He said, if a nigga can't do for you what I do for you, fuck him. And I used to tell, and at first I was all with that, but then right before he got killed, and I was 18, really realizing, I guess, starting to become an adult, I was like, all of this cool, but I want him to do all that shit for me without having to go out here and sell some dope. I said, that part
to do it.
That part to me is kind of scary. And he was like, he said, well, I said, because I said, you say yourself that you don't like having the fact that you got to stay looking over your shoulder here in certain places and you can't feel. So why would I want to be brung into a life where that's my duty? When we lay down and go to sleep and we may not get up in the morning because somebody mad because he making more money than him. I was like, I kind of don't want that. And he was like, well, if that's not what you want, then, I mean, I'm not saying that you had to get a person like me, but just make sure that if he can't do for you what you were already accustomed to, then don't do it. But again, that's in stuff with, and also setting standards for yourself, which is another thing, another factor of self-love to me. You need to set standards for yourself. You need to come up with what I will and won't accept and stick to it. That's my problem. I'll set up my list of what I want, but I don't stick to it. He may do good in a couple of areas, so I'm gonna let a couple of areas slide. And them couple of areas that I shouldn't have let slide is the most that I did.
The biggest mistake people make, I think. You got to know what you can put up with and what you can't put up with. And if you can't put up with it, you don't accept it at all because that shit's gonna break eventually. That shit's gonna break. If you made it. I got issues. I can admit it. I got some petty shit that just, in my eyes, if this is what you do, I can't fuck with you because it's gonna piss me off.
Yeah.
It's gonna cause a beef with us. It's gonna cause a beef with us. I've tried it in my last 2 relationships. I'm not a drinker. I am a smoker.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's to say, okay, yeah, true enough, but it doesn't have the same it doesn't have the same effects that they both have. It's a way different effect. These motherfuckers get, I'd be the first to admit, I'm not one to tell them motherfucker I drink you under the table. I'm 48 years old now, nigga, you be lucky to get me to hit a half a shot. I don't like liquor like that. Fuck that, I'd rather get high. That's just me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But, and I tried because I would drink. And then I tried, but it just got to where we buying fists and just banging this motherfucker in one night, just me and you. Why?
What is the point to that?
And then go back and get it. I could, no. And I'm knowing this is aggravating me, but I'm trying to be, and that's why they're saying, a change behavior. The best apology is a change behavior. Exactly. Hold on a minute, Joe. We got a phone call. Let me see how we supposed to do this. Let's see. All right, let me try to.
The sound that went out.
Can you hear me? I can hear you.
I can hear you too, but I can't hear no.
I can't either. I guess we sang it in the background.
Huh?
So I guess we sang it in the background.
Okay. I guess we can't hear the phone call. I don't know though.
Yeah, but we hear it. He talking, so somebody talking.
Right. Note if you can hear us, we can't hear.
Let me send him a message.
He looking at the screen. I think he's seen me. We can't. My pyromaniac ass can set this damn piece of paper on fire and choking my damn self.
Girl, you and Morgan, I promise.
Girl. Morgan should be scared to start a fire.
Right. Right.
That nigga went sat on the toilet. I had to move. I don't give a fuck. You gonna burn my room down and then go in the bathroom? What the fuck wrong with you?
Right. I'm just Morgan to tear some shit up and then get cleared out the way.
But if the motherfucker caught on fire, you ain't out the way. you right there mixed up.
See, look, I ain't got the critical thinking part down yet. Clearly, I wouldn't be taking the motherfucking room on. I'm mad we can't hear what's being said. I want to hear.
Right. Cause it was like they talking some shit.
Oh, did y'all hear that?
No.
No.
I couldn't figure out how to get. I wondered, did it show up on the lot? That's crazy, because that's my brother out of Georgia. He did my logos for Power 42 for the Power Foundation. And he was like, the dude is special, man. I love that dude to death, man. He is crazy.
Well, share with us. What was he talking about?
He said, I said, so what's up, brother? You got a question? He said, well, I didn't catch it. I just saw that it said call the show, so I decided to call. He said, well, what's the topic? I said, self-love. Now, mind you, I'm going to tell y'all, this 20-something years I've been knowing this dude. You know what I'm saying? This is like my brother, you know what I'm saying? So, if you've ever seen Carlito's, I think it's the second one, with his brother, the dude, Revolutionary Reggie. This is my brother, Chris.
We welcome all revolutionaries.
Yeah, he want to overthrow the government so bad.
Unless you a hotep. Hoteps ain't welcome on the stoop. Hey, like, the only restriction we have, no hotep.
The dude is, he ready. And he a little bitty dude, but he gives no fuck. But
the little ones be the main ones to be like that, though.
Yeah, that's my brother. I love that dude to death, man. Like I said, he did my logo for my radio station. He did the logo for the Power 40. For the nonprofit. That's my brother.
Who did the stoop?
I did that.
Oh, you did? That's what's up.
Yeah, I make all
right. When I say I was so tickled, right down to the guitar.
Guitar Hero.
You see Guitar Hero out there?
Wow. When I seen Guitar Hero, I fell out.
Right. We just laughing because that's literally what it be looking like. That's what my stoop like, right down to the dude that comes and plays the guitar.
Yeah.
Hey, I went on Google and I searched the stoop. That's literally what I put in. And I hit images. And I just started strolling through them. And there was a bunch of them. And I don't know why that was stood out. I had to play with the color because this ain't the original. Because I wanted them to at least try to look like they was black folks. So I had to introvert it, you know. But we can still see that them ain't our people. We don't sit down. We don't move like that. We don't sit like that. We don't. We may have a bottle or two outside. The kids may be out there, but we do all that shit. But yeah. Then I know you drink coffee. You always talk about coffee. So the little coffee shop thing, I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah.
That would be life now. If somebody would just move in the next building, move one of them crazy motherfuckers out and put a coffee lady in.
You'd be good to go.
Yeah, that's because I live in a den of lack of self-love. I'm surrounded by people who don't love themselves all day. Most hoods are, you know what I mean? They're full of people who don't love themselves. And on a daily basis, bro, like it's real hard for me because you want to be able to help people, but it's like when I have to explain to people what they have to do to be helped, nobody wants to really do the work. It's like when people say, oh, people have problems, but they don't have no solutions. No, I give people solutions. They just ain't finna do that shit. They're not. You have to be waiting.
There's a difference in a motherfucker not wanting to do the work and a motherfucker that's always just fucking talking just to hear their fucking head roar. So if I feel like you do, if I tell you what you need to do and you don't do it, then I can't do it for you.
And that's why so many people are not bothering to talk anymore because it's like I've had enough experience to know. That's why if you notice, you don't see me. Maybe I'll tell you, you won't catch nobody over 30 around me. Yeah. I don't deal with them. I don't got time for your bullshit. I don't got time for your mess. I don't got time for your lack of accountability because your kids are out here running wild and somebody has to help your kids. I can't help you both because you don't want to do no work. Because if you wanted to do some work, you wouldn't be here. You be doing the work. And then when I take the time out of my work, because I got my own work to do, to try and help people with their work, and then you turn around and don't do, you just really just spit in my face. You really spit in my face. So at this point, I keep trying to explain to people, what are the answers, Trisha? There's 3 of them. What's the 3 answers to everything?
Chicken nuggets, meditating, 4.
That's it. Chicken McNuggets, meditation, and 4. You figure out what the fuck it means. Make it work. Make it apply. You know, real shit. You'll force fit anything else, a relationship, a ponytail, them jeans. Force fit that shit to what you can use.
Ain't that it? Ain't that it?
Because everything is, like I said, you have to love yourself. And like I said, I'm not somebody who was always, some people are like, oh, you're so, no, the fuck, I'm smart because I was stupid. I'm wise because I was ignorant as fuck.
You hear me?
I got taught a lot of shit the extremely motherfucking hard way, bro. And I'm offering this shit to you like free of charge. So shut the fuck up and do some fucking work. Like that's the best you can do for me. I didn't always let, and like I said, the decisions I made.
But see, it's like I was talking to somebody, you know. I steered away from that Kanye comment a long time ago when he said about the slavery being a choice. I steered away from that for a long time because I knew people wasn't gonna see it the way I saw it. But I don't know if it's what he meant, but to me, the moment them motherfuckers did what they did, it had to become a choice for them because you had motherfuckers that jumped off that ship when they got down there looking like, nah, you're not about to do me like that. Fuck what you talking about. I'm about to deep sea. I'd rather jump in this shark-infested water and try to swim my ass back to where I'm from than to have you take me over here and treat me like that. You take away from the motherfuckers that said, I'm not about to let you beat me every motherfucking day and then I'm gonna die. I might as well try to get away from you and die. The problem was people didn't understand that at the end of the day, that choice ain't an ugly. Sometimes them choices ain't what you think they is. They ain't always gonna be about the right. It ain't gonna always be a good outcome in that motherfucker. That's the problem. So then when you take that outcome and the outcome is stay here, get the shit beat out of me, and die in the end, or run, possibly get caught, hung, and die. Both of these motherfuckers in with me dying, huh? Unless I get away. And I can't get away sitting my ass right here. So I'm choosing to get the fuck up out of here. And if you say it wasn't a choice, you take everything that they did, all them lives that was lost, that sacrificed to try to make a way, you denounce what they did. I understand the initial hang up of it. Nah, you didn't have a choice. The motherfuckers came, but our people still had a choice because they motherfuckers got bamboozled. And we still getting bamboozled because we make an excuse for every motherfucking thing. Fuck it, man. We can do whatever the fuck we want to. We've been doing it. I hate to hear people say, my little brother killed me with that shit all the time, bro. We can't do that. That ain't gonna happen. Why come they can't? How come we can't do it?
Because fear is cultivated. It's not an instant kind of thing. Yeah, I feel like, yeah, people can say that our ancestors had a choice, and at some point, to a degree, if you're going to look at it from that level, you can say that choice is an individual thing. And individually, a lot of them did decide that that's not what they were going to do.
Right.
But when they first encountered black people, they didn't come and encounter black people and just start snatching motherfuckers off the shores of Africa, warriors. They weren't doing that. These motherfuckers, like I said, America was a shithole. You needed to build your country. So you went over there and you got the best of the best. You went and you stole intellects. You stole engineers. You stole farmers. You stole people whose knowledge and abilities you needed to build up something for yourself. So you can't just go in there and start snatching people. You go in there with something that either is going to strike the level of fear in there or it's going to allow you to cultivate that level of fear. Like I said, had it not been for, like, just think about it. If something came out the sky right now, right, and just fell down in front of your damn building and pointed some motherfucking shit at you and was like, I will eviscerate you. And you was like, nah, you got me fucked up, and then they just eviscerated your mama right next to you. That's gonna do something to you. You have never seen no shit like that in your life. When them motherfuckers pulled out guns and started killing motherfuckers from 30 fucking feet, blowing fucking, we weren't used to that level of savagery. That's the fear of God that was put into black people. They stood in God's in his shoes when they decided to take lives that way. So no, I can't be upset with people who have the fear of God put into them. People who had nothing comparable to defend themselves with, who were just trying to survive to get back to their families, to see if there was something that could be done. Nobody laid down and just took fucking slavery. And people need to quit saying that. The choice was taken when they
died. They died because their choice was you're not gonna do this. And then you say they didn't have a choice, man. Cut that shit out. You taking that? That's really taking all them lives that was lost behind what you just said. No, motherfucker, well, you got to bust them guns then.
But that's the thing. None of those things are negated or done by what either one of us think about the choice. All of this lies that they answer the people who did that shit.
Right.
We can argue all day about whether we chose it or not, but whether we chose it or not, those we didn't give ourselves them choices. We didn't give ourselves, we're not the ones that decided that those were the choices that we had. So whichever way somebody that was in that position chose, I'm not gonna in no way hold them accountable for the choice that they made, because somebody took away what should have been their rightful choice. Somebody took away what should have been their natural divine choice. And what people are making now is what is called divine choice. And can't nobody sleep right now. Everybody fucked up in the head. You see white people literally having only 1 or 2 motherfucking reactions to black people. Either they falling at black people's feet or they're trying to kill them on the goddamn spot.
Oh, yeah.
There is no in between anymore. There is no more civil lives. There is no more, well, you can say this, but you can't say that. No, it's getting ready to be out here. And like I said, a lot of people ain't prepared for it because you built your whole entire existence on what you own, how many people like you, how many people you done, how many women you done slept with, how many niggas you done bagged, how many cars you drove, what type of house you bought, how fat your ass is, how many IG followers. Like our shit is based on, we're paper thin right now. So everybody naked and afraid. Everybody, regardless of how we got here, the point is we here. We here, and until people, and right now you have to learn to survive yourself, and that's the problem. Like I said, the reason we have to talk about self-love right now publicly is because privately everybody is terrified and nobody want to open their mouth and be like, I'm scared, I'm damaged, I'm broken. Not our men, not our women, because women have become the new men. And men have decided they're going to become the new women. So everybody's running around here talking about, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. Meanwhile, you out here maladaptive than a motherfucker, breaking other people, wreaking fucking havoc, and blaming everything on the fact that, oh, you so-called had a hard life, or this happened to me, or I got trust issues. Well, then go sit your stupid ass down somewhere. If you that fucked up, you can't expect the rest of the world to survive your stupid ass if you won't even survive you. If you can't sit with yourself, don't expect nobody else to sit with your doghead ass. I no longer give a fuck why you're fucked up. It doesn't matter to me, because at this point, you have the opportunity to do something different. You have a choice, period. And once somebody makes their choice, it is not your job to judge their choice. It's not your job to tell them that their choice is wrong. It is your job to get the fuck out the way and let that person experience their own fucking choice. Because you have your own choices to atone for while you're worried about what the fuck somebody else do.
What they decide, they got no bearing on what I got to atone for. I don't give a fuck what. Hey, look, yeah, this is what I'm saying. This is what I tell my kids all the time. Hey, don't do no. Oh, all right, okay. I can tell you, but you got to learn it yourself. Somebody asked me if I could go back in time, where would I start over again? No motherfucking where. I don't want to go back there. I'm cool. Why? Because if I go back there and I do one thing different, that changes my whole life. I don't meet the people I've met. I probably don't have the kids that I have. All of this stuff goes a whole nother, stuff may go a whole different direction. I'm cool.
And that's because you love who you are now. You wouldn't trade that for nothing, not even your memories, not even the bad experiences. But like I said, that comes from cultivating the love in yourself. And a lot of women, like I said, I can't really speak for men because I've learned to stop even, that's not my lane. Right. But as a woman, like, my journey to self-love was bumpy as fuck. Like I said, I grew up when, you know, being a dark-skinned woman meant you were a boy. It meant you were automatically unattractive. It meant that you automatically, there were certain things that were attributed to you. Like, yeah, some people was black, but when you're black and dark, like, that's a whole different level because you catch shit from motherfuckers in your own family. By the time you're, 7, 8 years old, you have a really, really low perception of yourself, because one thing that black people love to do in love is tear each other down. We call that shit love, to tear each other down and to pick at each other's insecurities and to humiliate each other's flaws. Like, we think that shit, we make excuses and say, oh, we just toughening them up. No, your ass is still hurt about what was said to you and that nobody ever said they were sorry for it, that nobody ever gave you nothing else to put on the other side of that. So you don't know nothing to do but project that shit and call it love, because that's what a motherfucker called it when they did it to you.
Yeah.
You don't, at some point you have to heal those things in you. So I didn't love myself. I didn't for a long time. I didn't know what it was like to love myself. I thought loving myself was not letting anybody do me any type of way by being just either so standoffish and on my own. Like I said, I've known May for, almost 30 years. Yeah, 30 years. And she would tell you, from the time I was young, people just did not like, she didn't like me when she first met me. I would walk in the room and females would just be like, I don't like her. I don't like her. And I never could figure out like why the hell girls didn't like me. So I didn't hang around with girls. I hung around with mostly boys because, like I said, when you're dark, you get treated like a boy anyway. And being that they usually weren't, physically attracted to me in that way, we could form genuine friendships. Whereas if I wanted to be friends with girls, I'm always have to be the butt of your joke or the person that makes you feel good. Or because when you're standing next to me, you're a little bit lighter, your hair's a little bit straighter, or the boys like you a little more because you giggle and shit. And I don't do shit but read fucking books and sit in fucking corners and I wear strange clothes. Well, bitch, I'm from California. What do you want me to do? So I learned very early, like, to watch women. And I noticed, like, women were so powerful, but I watched them from a very young age literally give up their power to boys early. Early, because in this society, as a girl, you're taught that your power, if you want any real power, you got to get a hold of a man that got some, because you don't get to get that on your own. You have to attach yourself to a man in order to get that. And so I attached myself to men in a different way than they did. You know what I mean? They use their femininity. You know what I mean? With me, it was more like the way I thought about things, the things that I was willing to do because I wasn't ever treated feminine. So I could do things that the boys didn't. I had no problem getting into that type of shit because I felt like that's where I fit in. But as I got older and I started realizing what was happening to these girls, you know what I mean? All these boys that liked them, and by the time they were 17, 18 years old, they got kids. They're ran through, they miserable, they're fighting all the time. Like they were just flat out fucking miserable. And I knew I didn't want to be that. So I was just like, I'm not gonna have a relationship. You know what I mean? I'll deal with niggas, but niggas knew that why I was dealing with them. Like I never made no qualms about that shit. But whereas Maymay was always more feminine, she liked boys and boys liked her. And you know what I mean? It was that kind of thing. And I was always like, bitch, why are you, girl, fuck these niggas. Girl, fuck loving these. What do you mean you love it? We not doing that. We not doing none of that. Like none of that. And I would watch and I'd be like, see, and then it always end up saying, I'd be like, see, I told you, do these niggas dirty, do these niggas dirtball. But I didn't realize even that was coming from my place of self-hate, me understanding that these boys hurt me. These are the boys that didn't like me. These are the boys that, you know what I mean, that being smart don't have no covenant in the hood. That shit don't carry no motherfucking weight.
I
So,
wasn't a fucking dummy. I just played a dummy after a while.
and I was like, okay, well, maybe that's what you do when you want a boy. So I found me a boy and was like, I'm gonna play all the way stupid, all the way dumb, all the way small, all the way insane. No, you laughing. It was to the point where me and her weren't friends for like 5 years because she was like, bitch, I don't even know you, bro. What is this? What is this shit you doing? But to me, everybody made me feel like I was a failure because they were like, that's not what a woman does. A woman's supposed to have a man. You're supposed to have a family. You're supposed to work a 9 to 5. You're not supposed to hustle. You're supposed to and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to do that. And that shit almost fucking killed me, bro. Like, you are what you are. You have to learn to love yourself, whatever the fuck you are. I'm never probably gonna be no giggly ass girly bitch who, like, I've never been that. That's never, even when I could, my sister was that. And like I said, I see how that play out. And most of them women, they don't even want to do that. They would like to be themselves. But there's so many prerequisites put on what it means to be a woman, especially a black woman. Well, you can't wear your natural hair because you look ugly with it, but don't wear no weave because now you're trying to be a white woman and I don't like all that fake shit. Ugh, what's wrong with your face? But don't wear no makeup. Oh, you ain't got no ass. That means I can't fuck with. Like, there's so many, there's all these conflicting things about womanhood when you have to learn to love yourself for whatever it is you are.
Well, they got man boobs and shit.
Bruh, disgusting hygiene. And you coming over there trying to tell me about what the fuck but they'll make you insecure with that to the point where we have gotten so desperate that we will accept anything from men. We'll accept anything from men. Anything. Because we're dead, like I said, we're
I've been there, done that. Fuck you. That's why I'm by myself now. Because I've been there and done that.
I ain't never, somebody pointed it out to me that just know Remy. Matter of fact, Remy that said it plenty of times. He said, bro, you just like them angry, fight back ass broads. You just love that. I guess that's what I'm attracted to because every female.
Husband another life note.
I don't know what it is. I don't want nobody to do every damn thing I say. I don't want that bullshit.
I'm not. That's how I am too.
You know what I want you to do everything I tell you to do. And then on top of that, if I was that way and you didn't do it, and I had to put my hands on you to get you to do it, I ain't got time for all that, man. I'm cool. No. Mm-mm.
But was there a time when you would choke a bitch up though?
I still will, shit.
See?
I'm just saying, if it come down to it and I felt she was really trying to do some harm to me, oh yeah, I'd choke the shit out of one right now. Yes. Back the fuck up. Not playing. I ain't gonna. That's gonna be the only thing to stop me from punching your ass. So you get the fuck back, move, yeah. Good choking at. But see, some of y'all crazy now. That motherfucker eyes get to bucking and shit like, ooh, I've been waiting on that nigga. Nah, see, we ain't about to do this.
But there's some people that's exactly what they will do. It's like men have this thing. It's real crazy. Like me, we was just talking about this the other day. Like women have this. Our thing is our sexuality. Women, we birth niggas. Like not trying to be funny. We push y'all out the vagina. Y'all spend the rest of y'all lives trying to crawl back in one. That's what y'all do. Y'all everything that y'all do, y'all are programmed to desire women. Like I said, just the level of rape that goes on in prison lets you know that men are genital driven. Like it's just part of the way men are made to fuck up. I don't know why. Maybe that was God's way of making sure shit stayed a little even between us, being that you're stronger than
I'm glad he made me over. I'm glad he put me on the other side of that bullshit. None of
That's
that.
what I'm saying, like dead ass. So when you're in a relationship and it becomes a power struggle, that's always any relationship you're in is a power struggle if both parties are not balanced. Like it's dudes that be like, I like me a crazy bitch, right? They say that out their mouth. I love me a crazy ass female, blah, 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 blah. But then when she set your car on fire, you run around crying to everybody, talking about I can't believe you. Yes, you can. This is part of everybody. This is part of your sickness. Her having her feelings manipulated and you knowing that she has so little control over them, you get off on the manipulation of it, even if it's gonna cause you harm. That is the problem. We have a control issue. Can't nobody control themselves, so you always trying to exercise control over another motherfucker, whether it's physically, emotional manipulation, threats, whatever it is, money, pussy, whatever it is you using to try and get that upper hand in a relationship when a relationship is supposed to be you relating to one another. Exactly. I've been involved in some fucked up relationships, but I can by no means say it's that nigga fault. He did X, Y, Z to me because the fact that I participated means I wanted something out of that I put a value on that was more than my dignity, more than my self-worth, more than my love of fucking self. For me to participate at all, I had to have wanted something from them more than I wanted to love myself, more than I wanted to feel myself that respect.
I don't cry about it now when shit is when I think about the fucked up shit because I have to think at some point that's exactly what the fuck I wanted.
See, we Taurus and stuff, but this is me though. I'm just like, fuck it. 9 times out of 10, I got sense enough to know that with the females that especially the mothers of my children, I can 10 times out of 10 tell you they didn't do shit. I did it. I know it. I don't know what I did, but I know I did it. It was just in me at that time to be. I know I did something. I'm always doing something.
And that's your job to figure out why you do it, and it was their job to figure out why they allowed it to happen.
Exactly. Till they got fed up and then and motherfuckers be like, oh man, you let her do, hey man, shit, I was asking for it. Shit, you know what but then as I grew up, that shit gets older. That shit gets old.
And maybe you just grow out of whatever it is that you feel that makes you feel like this is the type of thing that you deserve. Like, as you heal, as you forgive yourself for things, there's certain things you're not going to tolerate anymore because you forgive yourself for whatever transgression you feel like you made that made you deserving of whatever the fuck it is that you're going through. Like I said, to me, people don't love me because I'm just so fucking wonderful and I just spread sunshine everywhere. I cuss a motherfucking lot, and on a good day, can't but probably 3 people say anything to me in real life, for real. But at some point, you have to decide, like, it's not just about not dealing. Like I said, best thing, people are like, why are you single? Why are you single? Because I know that there's some places in me that ain't ready, that haven't dealt with why I dealt with other certain things. I can't do nothing for nobody right now. I'm not a complete and whole human being. Now, for where I'm at, I seem really advanced to these niggas, though. These goofy niggas think that, oh, she's so spiritual, no, I'm a fucking human woman, bro, and I got some shit going on with me, and I'm trying to get through it. And right now, the fact that you even feeling like this about me without even really knowing how the fuck this even happened, lets me know I can't do nothing but eat you, bro. There's nothing that I can do with you but fuck your life up, hurt your feelings, and then blame you for it.
This dumb shit, thinking you doing something, and it's gonna be man, just stay away. Fuck it.
So I'm just like, right, the only thing I can do for niggas is just stay out y'all motherfucking way, bro. I'm not healthy. I'm healing. And because I let people see me heal, they think that it's a finished process. No, bro, this is just a process. And at some point, you have to let people see what happens in your process because they're going to be like, well, how do I do X, Y, Z? They have to be able to look at you. You can't just go around telling people shit and them same people that you talking to can look at your life and know you lying.
and see you still doing
Right.
the
See,
same shit.
right. I don't ask anybody to do anything that I haven't done for more than at least 6 months. If it's not something I haven't changed for at least 6 months, I don't speak on. When they say to me, how do I do this? I don't know. Let a motherfucker ask me how to quit smoking. I don't know, bro. You see me with a Newport. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yeah, Chantix is the way to go, and you should just put some turmeric under your tongue in the morning. Whatever the fuck it is you feel like you want to say, because you feel like you know something. But until you've applied that knowledge, you don't know shit. You have a theory. You think or you believe what somebody else said until you have your own fucking experience. I have an experience with quitting smoking.
My old man said, my mama, because my old man been smoking at least 50 fucking years, you know what I'm saying? He don't buy packs. This nigga buy cartons of the cheapest shit you could ever have just because he want to smoke fucking cigarettes. You know? And the dude, I mean, love him to death, man. He is fucking hilarious. When I tell you, he may have a carton of these cheap motherfuckers up under the truck seat, a carton under the couch. He got cigarettes everywhere, and he never finishes a cigarette. He'll light that mug. He'll smoke on it, he'll sit it in the ashtray, and he'll start talking, and he'll been lit the other one before that one even out.
Yeah.
Food chain smoking.
You gotta quit smoking them cigarettes, dude. You just, oh man, shit, it ain't that easy. I've been smoking for 50 years. Shit, I keep telling myself, I know what it is. I just can't stop fucking. So shit, I'm like, hey, you know.
That's what I'm saying. How we say I was telling them up quit smoking, but pass me a square though.
So shit, it is what it is. Hey man, I look at, now that I'm at the end of the day, when I realize I can only be up to a certain extent at some point in time in my life, I'm only gonna be able to be responsible for me.
Facts.
I can't even be responsible for my kids. There's gonna come a time in their life when they're gonna become responsible for themselves. You know what I'm saying? So my job is to lead them and especially me having girls. That's the biggest thing. My 3 oldest kids is girls. You know.
Yeah, and they stay on your head.
Stay on my top. You know what I'm saying? But they know they daddy. Hey, like I swear, I tell them in a heartbeat, if the nigga act anything like your daddy, you run for the motherfucking hills. You get away from that nigga. Don't you fuck with him. If you can look at that nigga and say, oh, he remind me of my daddy, take the fuck off. Haul ass. Because you don't want, that's not what you really want. You may think that shit all fine and dandy and cute, but it really ain't. I scarred some people, and I had to realize that. Hell, I scarred y'all. Y'all was gone. Y'all, because of what me and your mama went through, y'all left me when y'all was 3 and 4 years old. We just kept a good relationship. So it's like I said, when you said that thing about that curse, somewhere you got to stop that motherfucker. Somebody got to finally say, hey, man, this enough is enough and too much stinks, goddammit. So I can't be responsible for what y'all going to do over here, but I'm going to teach mine to love yourself.
Yeah.
Love yourself
turn around and give your children new choices. Like, understand, I saw you see me do this X, Y, and Z, but you see how that worked out for me. I've come to understand this, and you turn around and you give your children what you've learned. But most of your kids are not gonna listen to you because, like I said, you ain't been saying nothing to them. Their whole life has been shut the fuck up. Cause I'm grown. I'll beat your ass. You think you grown? Get your ass out there. Don't keep it 100. A lot of parents watch their kids suffer because they feel like they got good enough for them. Like, a lot of people genuinely don't even like their fucking children, bro. Like, I'm not.
I get in their motherfucking face when they fuck up, and I tell them, I told your motherfucking ass, I'm that daddy. Yeah, I told your ass, you gonna listen to me sooner or later, motherfucker. But you had to do it to learn it. So shit, I ain't gonna harp on you too much longer. You had to get the experience from somewhere. Now, what I might look at you crazy is if you let this shit happen to you again.
That part.
Now, if you allow this shit to happen to you again, that means you didn't learn nothing from the first time. Well, guess what? You about to learn it again. You about to learn this nigga. The thing is, you don't understand. People have patterns. It's just plain and simple. And if you watch people, they'll show you who they truly are. Through their actions, they will show you who they are. If these niggas ain't showing you they love you, trust me, they don't love you. You wanna know how I know? Cause I was that nigga. If I thought that if it made your mama feel like I loved her to wash a dish and make a bed, nigga, guess what I would do? wash your dish, make a bed, hit the streets, and be gone till 4, 5 in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Come back to a whole argument. So yeah, that shit don't mean, man, you gotta pay attention. And they I mean, I'm about to have another grandbaby. My daughter about to have her 4th child, but I ain't fucked up. You can take care of them. You have as many of them motherfuckers as you want.
Yeah, and at some point you have to understand, just, you know, people have patterns, but it's they pattern. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes it hurts to look at somebody's pattern and be like, bro, how long you gonna keep this same fix though, bro? Can we get some variety? Can you do at least something different? But at the end of the day, however long it takes them to get that, that's how long it's gonna take them to get that. I've learned that sometimes you just have to love motherfuckers at whatever level they on, whether they move or not. That's on you. I'm gonna love you at whatever level you on. Now, every level don't have the same access to me because I got shit to do. And to love some people on their level require entirely too much. It give me a migraine. So just know that we connected. We ain't got to be attached. I'm always with you. And when the time comes for, like I said, I'm gonna plant seeds in you. So when the time does come for you to do something different, if I'm not there, I'm still there because I planted seeds that you can water and that you can bloom whenever you're ready to start harvesting something new in your life. You ain't gonna even need me.
That's why, you know what I'm saying? When I came up with my power fight, like this shit ain't shit that I just popped up with in my head in the last month or two or nothing. This shit been in my head for over 10, 11 years and what I wanted to do. And now this opportunity that came. And I'm about to take, but my program, that's exactly what I want to do with that. I want to create, we got to start understanding that all our kids ain't going to school, all our kids ain't going to be able to do it, but we got to still be able to get them a head start, man. It's fucked up. We got to give our kids a head start to get on an equal playing field. How do that even sound?
But our kids are the creators. So whatever gets created, it'll be by our children. So our job is to teach them to covet their creation. To attach that to their blackness. Everything great that they do, attach that to who you are, because we are so far behind the 8 ball just as far as our own self-esteem is. And like I said, if you're broken and all the generations before you are broken, and then you look at these kids and you wonder why they're doing their best to walk around here in pieces. In pieces. Like I said, when you had that last show and I heard those women talk about the kids that they have that weren't theirs but are theirs, like that shit had me literally ready to just bust down, because I really be feeling like sometimes I'm alone out here. Like, man, I tell you, I have a lot of kids. And where I'm at is a really dark place, and no flex, no cap. There ain't no other place where I live like my house. There's no other place that they can come and get what they're coming over here to get. And like I said, I'm not teaching these kids to follow me or change my mind for their mind. I literally teach these kids where to find their own power and how to follow their into that you're not crazy, you're not worthless. Yes, that's a gift that you have, and there's nothing wrong with that. But a lot of the people that came to break curses in families, like I said, they've been abused. They got black sheep. They got called touched, and you know, oh, they just crazy. They just so revolutionary minded. They just want to say fuck the system. No, they trying to come here and free your black ass, and you don't want to be free because freedom requires discomfort. And how the fuck we got comfortable, I don't know. Like I said, maybe it was the evisceration of our families, all the drugs, all the bullshit, all the lack of education, all the lack of opportunities, all the caps put on us. Even when we go to the best schools, that they're so-called best schools, and you find out that there's still a cap on your shit.
Yeah, all the other shit, and that's what it ain't that I'm not understanding. I totally get, you know what I'm saying, the police killing us, woo, this and that. I get it. Okay, I understand. They should be, but man, again, when I say I live under that thing that they are not here to serve and protect us. That was never the intention of the police force when it was instituted. When it was instituted to serve and protect they ass from us. So that's what they do, and they steady doing it. So at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, it's so much other shit that we got to overcome other than this bullshit. Because this shit been going on forever. We've been fighting this cause for too fucking long. And it's time to get in here and do some other shit and start holding these motherfuckers accountable.
You have to hold yourself accountable first. We don't even know what accountability look like.
That's what I'm saying. Once we can start holding ourselves accountable for some of this dumb shit we do, and that's the problem. Every police killing, don't get me wrong, they done fucked a lot of us up. But some of the shit that done happened, we done been real dumb shit we done done on our behalf too. It's just some shit you don't do. You know what I'm saying? Now, the motherfuckers running and y'all shooting them in the back, that's some bullshit. How you gonna shoot a motherfucker in his back?
Yeah.
Because that's their preference.
And then y'all let them, and then if y'all paying attention, they kill it. It ain't just the fact that they shoot, they killing us. They getting away with this shit like they always have. It's nothing new.
Yep.
They been doing this shit. We got the, hey, they infiltrate us. This is how they do. This is what's fucked up. They infiltrate us. They get in our system with bullshit programs, this, that, and the third, and they keep us against each other. We infiltrate and get into their shit, and instead of trying to flip the shit to help benefit us, we play with these motherfuckers. We go inside with they plan.
You gotta tell people you have to be white to participate in white supremacy. We know that any part of the system that you decide to participate in, you're participating in white supremacy, right down to whatever job you decide to go out there and work. And when people hear that, it sounds like you're telling people, oh, well, don't go to work. I'm not telling you anything but the truth. What you decide to do with that on your own personal level is your business. It's your business. I'm not telling anybody what to do or not do. Like I said, I understand that the position that I'm in, people might call it a privileged position, but I feel like, nah, I earned it, and I'm not going to keep acting like this some shit was just bestowed on me for no reason.
Right.
But at some point, I had to decide, like, okay, even when it came down to my family, do you have anything I need bad enough to be fucking with y'all? At all. Because I don't feel like you treat me right. You don't talk to me right. The things that are, you know what I mean, that you need the most from me are the things that you hate me the most for fucking having. I'm just going to remove myself from this situation. Now, mind you, this is a family that is very, you know, financially supportive. And if I needed anything outside of finances, then, you know what I mean, that was on me. But financially, you know what I mean, my family was cool. You know what I mean, we got you, whatever it is you need. But it came with, you know what I mean, certain things. It came with me having to agree that I was fucked up. It had to agree with me. It came with me having to agree that something was wrong with me and I was just incompetent and I couldn't do this, that, and the third. And you think if you can't be in the street, you just don't want to be nowhere. And all this shit about me that just wasn't true. Shit that fuck with my psyche, shit that fuck with my self-esteem, shit that fuck with the way I felt about myself. So at some point I had to be like, I'd rather sleep in my car than ask you motherfuckers for a motherfucking couch to sleep on. I'd rather eat out the trash before I motherfucker. But you know what? That never even happened to me. Once I decided that I was gonna do something different, God was like, I got you. And I ain't missed a meal fucking since. And eventually I came to learn to love myself and all, because it was a nasty process. I almost died twice, bro. That shit was nasty. It hurt. There were certain things I didn't think I was gonna be able to forgive other people or myself for fucking doing. You know what I mean? The shit that a lot of women do that they don't talk about. The shit that you've done out of despair, the shit that you've done out of just self-loathing, out of need, out of you never know what the motherfucker, what somebody has done. It's not the shit that people know about you, it's the shit you know about yourself. The shit that on the outside it looked like you got away with, but no, you didn't.
Right.
You don't get away from yourself.
You don't get away from shit. That shit
So
is
when you ready to motherfucker talk it out with yourself,
man.
They fucked up, and it's not easy, like I said, but I watch young people doing it every day. Every kid that come through here is struggling. You hear me? Struggling in their humanity, struggling. But every one of them, they come here and they do work. When they leave outside my house, I know that whatever they do or whatever the fuck they get into, if motherfucker call me, I can be there because I know whatever they're doing, they're working. They're working. They're doing the best they can. Do they slip up? Are they ratchet as fuck? Yes. Abso-fucking-lutely. Are they annoying as motherfucking hell? Do they make mistakes? Abso-fucking-lutely. But then they turn around and we talk about, well, okay, you fucked that up. It's fine. Now let's talk about how you fucked that up, why you fucked that up, and what in you made you decide to go that route. And let's see if you're hurt somewhere that made you make a decision that was going to ultimately hurt you, that you had to have known deep down was going to hurt you. I teach them to trust their intuition. I teach them to listen to themselves. Don't worry about what the fucking TV tell you. We don't do TV in this fucking house. We have one, but nobody turns it on but my nephew. We don't do TV in this house. We love music. We love to have conversations. We love to grab the fucking telescope and swear we looking at motherfucking aliens. We love all that shit. We love to just sit on the fucking stoop and have deep philosophical arguments. We love that shit.
Me and my oldest sister, when I was about 8, we used to live with my granny in Mississippi. I just love it. It's country as hell. No stoplights, no police station, one gas station. You can walk from one side of town to the other side of town in probably about 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? It's country. But me and my older sister used to go to the library. They had a little tin, looked like a little made-up library that they built out of garage material or some shit. And, you know, We would go get this constellation book and real life shit. Me and my oldest sister would lay in the grass in my granny yard and look, and I had no idea what the fuck I was looking for. But I could always recognize the Big Dipper in the, I could never find, that's the only one I could find. I swear to God. But the thing about it was, I'm really just trying to find out. I mean, it's a lot of components to why we are the way we are and why our kids are coming the way we are. And it's like, I think the beginning is just teaching them to love themselves is where we got to start with. Because if we can teach them to love themselves and that people love them as well, then maybe we could start to turn this thing around. Because until they don't, it's something going on with it. There's something going on with them. They just not this way because. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. They're not just this way because these kids are lacking something. And I'm gonna say we.
Like their mama was 12 and their grandma is 22. So
Yeah.
what the fuck? They don't. Everybody out there figuring it out. Everybody can't know what the fuck is going on. You gotta have somebody in the equation to lead, but that's not the case anymore. Big Mama is 35 now. The fuck?
Ain't got time to be watching your kids. Shit.
That part. And how about she in the same mirror you in, about to go to the same club you in?
Right. Now riding together. How about that? Okay. And don't babies with the oldest kids. How about that?
And you gonna fight over the same nigga next week.
So that's what the problem is. For one,
what happened to the table you be at y'all house when it's all over with? After party at y'all house, smoking, drinking, this shit we do. You know what I'm saying? I don't. All I'm saying is, I can't knock one because I've done it. I was that motherfucker too. But at the same time, it's just, you got to know what shit that's going on. We wasn't allowed to be around that shit, period. Oh. I ain't telling you can't ever turn up at your crib, but we wasn't allowed to run around, bounce around, dance to no songs and none of that.
Like during the grown folks parties, you keep your ass upstairs. Kids are to be seen and not really fucking heard. This is grown folk time. Quit fucking meddling. We sneak down there and meddle a little bit, but just exactly like motherfuckers do now. We sit here drinking, smoking, and being grown folks, and it's kids right there in your face. No, that never was the play back in the day.
Hey, we was talking about that on the What's Love. That
fascinates me too, but a lot of people feel like that's wrong. You should let the kids be. But I mean, no, to a certain extent, I kind of agree with that, but then I kind of don't because I feel like there still needs to be some separation.
Yeah, like my girl's 25 now. You know what I'm saying?
You knowing about this side of me or witnessing that side of me, but you don't need to be in the mix all the fucking time, and you don't need to be exposed completely to all of it. Over time, maybe yeah, but if you're 9, 10, and 2, 3, 4, no. I'm gonna wait till you go to sleep. I'm gonna wait till you're at Banana House this weekend. I'm gonna wait till something, but I don't need you sitting right in my face while I'm talking to my buddy, smoking a blunt, talking
even if I do decide to sit in my motherfucking house where I pay my bills and I provide your ass with a bedroom and do. If I tell you, get your ass in that room and close your door and don't come out unless somebody call for you, that's what the fuck you do.
Exactly.
Period.
Exactly.
And if you come out that door, that means you're going to have a problem.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing is everybody got started having kids. So it used to be like when I had my daughter, I was young. I was only 19. But I knew enough that my life was, as her mother, was completely separate from any life I had anywhere else. And I lived in the same apartments as everybody I hung out with for about 2 years before anybody even knew I lived on the property. That's for my baby. I know where to find you niggas.
Right.
I know where to come after she go to sleep. Like, you can't come in my house because my baby there. But that was just me because I have my own issues as far as people being around my child and my baby. But at some point, you have to understand, if you're not ready to explain your behavior to your child, then don't let them see it. I never let my child see me do anything that I was not ready to explain to her.
Right.
And once I did anything in front of her, she needed an explanation. One thing I never told her was shut up or cause I'm grown.
Right.
Never. You don't do that. Like people like all the time are always like, oh my God, your daughter is so well spoken. Why does she speak so well? Well, because she didn't spend her whole life here and shut the fuck up. She didn't hear her whole life say, I don't want to hear shit you got to say. You don't pay. I pay the cost to be the boss. Like we say so much fucking disgusting, slave-minded shit to our kids, and we don't realize what we're doing. We're literally indoctrinating our kids to literally have no voice, or to think that anything they do, they have to sneak and do it, or they can do it when they get older, no matter how fucked up it is, because the only fucking reason that you ever gave them was because you old. So everybody's just waiting to get old so they can be fucked up, because our kids think to be old or to be grown is permission to just be fucked up. You can't be out here because you old thinking somebody's supposed to respect you and you're not respectable. You out here acting just like these kids, and then you wonder why they hear curse words in front of you, or they don't get out your way when they see you trying to get through the door at the motherfucking gas station. They don't motherfucking pull their pants up when they get in front of you because you're not respectable. They just saw you out here yesterday, hugged up on a nigga half your age, or twerking, cursing, acting a damn fool, doing the damn most out here, but you gonna turn around the next day because today you feel like putting on your big girl panties and say somebody need to respect you because you grown. Bitch, when?
Okay. Yep.
Dig. And it's, you know what I'm saying, even with the men, it's some shit that I see my brothers doing that just here. You know, it was a post I seen, and they was talking about the little boy, they in a barber shop or something, and the lady come in and the little boy like, ooh, that ass, and they laughing. Because the little boy going around, ooh, that ass fat, let me slap that. He about 4 or 5 years old.
That's not funny, cute, none
And when
of
they
that.
become a full-blown rapist, they'll be the same motherfucker.
Right, I'm like, then I have to think.
That's black men's problem. Black men don't have no rite of passage except black women's bodies. I say that shit all the time because it's true and it needs to fucking change. Our boys don't get no bar mitzvahs, no quinceañeras, whatever the shit all. Everybody, Jewish people, Chinese people, everybody has something that makes you a man. For some, it used to be if you asked once you got out the house and went to college. These niggas ain't even moving out the house no more. Boy. They just staying at the crib. The only manhood that black men have to hold on to is women's bodies. Yep. And that's fucking sick, bro. Men find their strength in breaking strong women. That's fucked up. Mm-hmm. That's real fucked up. And a lot of women are so broken and so fucked up when they find somebody who wants to be decent to them, who does not want to harm them. They think that nigga's a simp. They think he a lame. They think he's fucking weak because they've started thinking that pain is supposed to be associated with love. He ain't a man if he don't fucking hurt you. He ain't a man if he don't disrespect you. He ain't a man if he don't make you feel less than. If he don't reduce you to your pussy, he's not a real nigga.
You know,
and now look at you. Fucked up, 7 kids, bad credit, and you still ain't got no man.
Yeah.
That shit makes no sense.
But again, like, how do you equate yourself? Can you tell yourself you love yourself if you allow shit like this to go on to you? And you know, like I told somebody, I said, man, it's crazy. I literally had to find out and start loving myself to tell myself that, dude, look, you was doing some fucked up shit around this world. You put a lot of bad energy out in this motherfucker. And you know what's going to happen because it's coming back. So at some point I had to realize, I had to say, man, look, you done put enough bad in this. When are you going to try to put some good and maybe you can get some good back? That probably happened when I was about 40. Real shit. I'm 48 now, so I'm not, you know what I'm saying? And when motherfuckers like, man, bro, you changing all the time. Yeah, you right. I'm supposed to. I got to.
That's the point.
That's the whole point.
That's the entire point. Like I said, when I look at who I was at 20 versus who I am at 40, like, don't get me wrong, like, she was cool for the time. You know what I mean? She was cool with my kids, so she's 27. You know what I mean? But she was toxic. She was helly motherfucking toxic. Don't get me wrong. She had a good time and she indulged in her desires and whatever the fuck it was she wanted to fucking do. But she was toxic. And because I was toxic and strong, people took my toxicity for that being my strength. The things that were the most toxic about me, the things that I hated the most about myself, but everybody else seemed to absolutely fucking love because it worked. And in your 20s, you don't want to be lonely. You want to be liked. You want to be that nigga. You want to be that bitch. So, you know what I mean? If this is what motherfuckers like and I can do it damn near effortlessly, that shit don't start to creep up on you till later when it start coming back around. You don't get karma back from the motherfuckers you do it to. Karma is sending that shit wrapped however it needs to for you to open it up.
man, what you just said.
We are all motherfucking, we all are perpetrators and receivers of motherfucking karma. Everybody's in the army. Ain't no us against them. Everybody plays.
And I don't know when my karma may stop. So the only thing I can do is stop putting bad energy into the world.
Right, let me stop the bleeding.
Let me stop the bleeding. Hopefully I get to experience what it's like to not have to eat some of the shit that I done did. Right. But if I don't, up until that point in time, I'm cool. I have no reason to want to do nothing bad to nobody. I love myself enough to know that whatever you do, you cannot make me jeopardize me at all. You can't do that no more. Sometimes a motherfucker had that, and there was a time when people had that, when certain things was going on with my mind. I was letting this control my mind, and I would just go all out, and I was putting it out. No more. No. Mm-mm. I can't do it.
Because some power is different for you to maintain.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Who gonna be there? You know, like when I had my stroke, you know, it's like, I can understand the whole situation, like with me and my ex. I get it. It's just the way you did it. I'm not mad. It's just the way you did it. But at the end of the day, that's some things people don't take into consideration. You went from we were struggling in a two working job, 2 income household. We was already struggling. I was in the hospital for a month, and I still ain't went back to work. I've been cleared to go back to work. So she had to take all that on her own. Plus, that's some heavy shit. So I can't be mad at you for the way you reacted to that, because you didn't ask for that. That ain't your fault. None of that. I ain't mad. Why would I be mad? But motherfuckers really like, man, you still fuck with her. You still talk, man, I love the shit out of her. I'm not in love with her like I used to be, but I don't want to see nothing bad happen to her. That's life. Motherfucker, would you, a whole grown man that you got to help get in the shower, you got to do this, you got to feed him. Well, not so much feed him, you got to bring him his food, you got to help him, plus go to work every day.
So let me ask you this. Like, when you look back on it, do you feel like you treated her in a way that you invested in her being able to do those things for you without reacting the way that she reacted? Like, had you treated her well? Had you?
Nope.
And that's what that's where I think a lot of people, like, I get where men come from, because in their mind, they're like, if you love me, like, yeah, I understand why you did, but it was the way you did it. And you have to think about it. Like, that's probably a thought she had in her mind about a lot of stuff you had done to her up until that point. Like, even if he did it, I can't believe
it was the boiling point.
And now I gotta, you know what I mean? My dad was out there for a while. When he came back, he was sick, you know what I mean? And he hadn't been right to my mama at all. He hadn't been right at all to my mama. But when my dad got sick and he needed to come home, my daddy came home, you know what I mean? And his relationship with mama was his relationship with mama. Was he the best dad to me? No, he wasn't the best dad to me, but I knew that my dad was sick a lot of my life. You know what I mean? My dad had a real bad problem with, you know what I mean, addiction. And I understood that made him different. I knew the difference between my daddy when he was my daddy and my daddy when he was fucked off. So I knew who he really was. So once my dad got, you know what I mean, got sick and he needed to basically come back to the crib, and I was like, you know what I mean, he wasn't sick when he first came back, but he was just freshly, you know what I mean, getting himself together. And they had to put him on house arrest. He had gotten in some legal trouble, and I didn't want him out there in the neighborhood where he was always, you know what I mean, falling into shit at. So I asked my mama, you know what I mean, you all the way out here in bumblefuck far East Indiana, my daddy from the land. You know what I mean, can we just bring him out here so he's at least out of that environment? My mama didn't want to do it. She didn't want to do it. But as my daddy got in, she got a chance to re-know my daddy the way that he was before. Eventually, you know what I mean, they said, like I said, ain't nobody gonna be bothered with neither one of them, so they kind of gotta stay together, because ain't nobody else gonna be bothered with neither one of them niggas. They both crazy. But she got to start meeting him where he was at. But it wasn't until she had, because she was away from him for 15 years, that she had to be healed enough to even be able to say, you know what, that's the father of my children. That's the man I made a family with, regardless of whatever else. I may not be in love with this nigga. I may even have a lack of respect for him, but he's my family. But you can't see that in somebody unless the places in you that felt like they were family have healed from the brokenness that they gave you, from the hurt that they caused that familiar place in you. And you need a break, and you have to heal. It just is what it is. And you can't heal all up in a motherfucker face when you the one that hurt him. He had to be gone for a while for her. If I pulled that shit and he was, you know what I mean, fresh on some bullshit, no, I wouldn't even have asked her. I wouldn't even ask her, but because he didn't hurt me in the same ways that he hurt her, I could still hold that familial love for him and remind her of a familial love for him. Because on a familial level, no, he wasn't the best dad, but he hadn't hurt me the way he was her mate. You know what I mean? She depended on him for reasons that I didn't. She needed things from him that I didn't. So I can't say how much he failed her or how long it should take her to get over it. I just know that she had to get over it. And had she not, my family would not be what it is today. My daddy he has taken his place back as one of the pillars of my family, able to exert wisdom. And we know because we know where he's been and what he had to, and how hard he had to fight to get through and what role family played in helping him to do that. Him being a living example is why he can open his mouth and he can speak what he does. My mother can be a living example of healing and loving people past their pain, even the pain that they've caused you, because she did that work. A lot of people want to run their mouth and they haven't done that work yet. You still fucked up in the areas you're trying to tell somebody else how to heal from. Nah, bro, let me see how it work out for you first, and then you could tell me something. But most people just want to start talking because they heard it or they feel like they know it now. No, until you've applied that, you don't know nothing. You think, you got a theory, you believe. But application is the difference between what the fuck you think and what you know.
Man, I'm telling you, I tell people, hey, I'm not stubborn because of the fact that I don't. One, you got to prove it to me. And anything that I'm telling you that's worked for me, it ain't by Joe Blow telling me I've tried it and it's worked. I don't go gray areas. I don't do that theory shit and this, that. I go by what I can prove. Period. Dot. If you can't prove it to me, I ain't really trying to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to have to make it make hella sense to make me go against something because I go by proof. So if it's something that I'm standing on, I'm standing on it because I've been through it.
Facts. And that's the whole thing is that's why I don't offer nobody no information. I feel like if somebody asks me a question, that means that somewhere in you felt like I knew the answer. I don't know what I did or said or what you saw about me or in me that made you think I would have the answer, which is why I don't talk to nobody unless you ask me. That's why I get mad at people when they get around me. And I know you want to ask me something, but you're trying to find 50 million angles to just ask your fucking question.
Fucking question, right.
Whenever you decided, hey, I need to talk to her, just say what the fuck it is you have to say, because I really don't have all day. But once you've been through, like I said, there's just an energy that comes off of you that lets people know that, hey, like I said, the question I get from most people is, how did you get like this? You don't like, if you which part, where are you stuck at? Because it's different devils for different levels. Where are you at? And the moment I tell a motherfucker when they're like, I just don't understand, I can't seem to find a mate, or I can't seem to attract the type of people I want in my life, the first thing I ask motherfuckers, like, not trying to be funny, especially if they my age, is, are you fucking? Are you fucking? Because if you fucking, I can't help you.
Period.
Like I said, when it was an intellectual thing and trying to get your mind right, if the TV was the deal breaker. If you're not willing to throw out your TV, I can't help you. What we're doing now, if you're not willing to stop fucking, I can't help you, because what you have to do right now is so solitary and it's so much about you. You can't be intermingling unless you're healed. And if you were healed, you wouldn't be asking me these questions. So if you're in that type of turmoil, you have to figure out which demons belong to you and which demons you let the motherfucker pump on you. You need to figure out which insecurities are yours or which ones are you letting the motherfucking somebody feed you. But in order to do that, you have to be all alone with yourself. You have to be willing to wake up and go to sleep every day with yourself. I'm only 2 years in. I know some motherfuckers that ain't fucked in a lot longer than that. As like I said, my cousin Claudia can hold the record, and I think May coming in at a close motherfucking second for the people that I know. And I tell her all the time, she'd be like, girl, what'd you say? How many years was it?
5.
5. And I'm like, I don't know nothing about that, bitch. I'm about to die.
Yeah. I turned the pussy out for 5 years. I didn't have time for it no more because I still realized that these niggas look different, but they were still the same nigga. So I'm like, I need to stop fucking doing that. It's something in there that's fucked up that makes me keep wanting that. So let me back on up because this shit ain't working no more. You doing all of this, loving on these motherfuckers and yourself, and the shit ain't making no difference.
It's like when people ask that question, how important is sex or whatever in your relationship, or how important is this? Sex will never be in the top 5 of anything that's got to do with my relationship. It just won't. Because if one person has how hard is it to just say, damn, We are not compatible. Let me leave you the fuck alone and see if I can find somebody that I'm compatible with. Because you just want to fuck.
Because you desire them. That's why. Because you
That's
desire
the
the
goal.
It
desires of
goes
motherfuckers.
back to what I said at first. You can't look at something fucked up just because it's fucked up. You have to also remember that at some point, that fucked up shit is exactly what the fuck you wanted.
I mean, like,
Why do I want this?
that's the goal, though. I'm speaking from a man's standpoint. Like, damn, the goal is just to get the pussy. That's what the goal is, huh?
That's
Yeah,
what it seems like
and
to
that
me.
has to
That's what it seems
to
like
change.
to me. And it's crazy because y'all, and it's crazy to me because y'all play the whole role, do the whole nine. Just to get the pussy and then look at her like she crazy when you been doing everything to make her think what she thinking, and then because she spoke it, now she fucked up. What, bitch? Okay, well then how about I'm gonna be fucked up over here and you be fucked up over there?
It's a vicious cycle, man. It's a
Yes.
motherfucking
And I
cycle.
feel like I'm 42 years old now. I'm not gonna keep playing with you. What the fuck?
Like, all my kids' mothers, me and all my kids' mothers are friends. They all on my Facebook page. Only one, my son's mama, but I ain't gonna even speak on her because I don't know what's in her head. So anyway, but I'm happy enough with myself to realize that, hey, okay, I couldn't make y'all happy. Y'all happy now, yay! Because guess what that does for me? That alleviates a lot of shit off of my back because now all I got to do is worry about my seed. As long as we ain't together, but you ain't got nobody there taking up your time and trying to make you happy. All the shit that I had when we was together, I still got when we not together. Because if you run up on hard times, you gonna come ask me why? Because I'm the father of your child. You should be able to. Okay, cool. But once you got a man in your life, that shit's off my table. So now it's just me concentrating on my child. And that's how we're able to. I'm not about to cause her no turmoil. Why do I want to get mad and start shit with her and her new boyfriend because she didn't choose? Because I ain't gonna even say she didn't because she didn't choose me. She chose me, but I didn't do the things that a man was supposed to do to keep her. So now I'm mad.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna keep her uproar. I'm gonna pull up in her house and blow horns and bang on her door with my kids in there. Come on, man.
I thought you was gonna say who does it. I was gonna say now, come on, we can throw a rock.
Right. You feel what I'm saying? And until I realized that I was hurting my child more than anybody, my kids more than anybody, that ain't what you want. That ain't the shit to do, man.
Right.
But niggas do that shit.
Yeah, and they'll even do it to women that they don't even want.
Yeah.
Like, you so hell bent on like making this woman miserable because, like I said, men don't be having no type of rights of passage except black women's body. You put a baby in a bitch and now you own her, right? You got 5 damn baby mommies running around this motherfucker, and every motherfucking week it's a problem. That's why I said I don't date dudes with kids like with more than one baby mama because I don't got time. Ain't none of them ever gonna act right at the same time. It's always some motherfucking drama, and it's usually centered around what the fuck you don't do. And at the end of the day, most women, like I said, no matter what men do or don't do, that's the person that has to stay there and deal with your kids. Whether you like her or not, I don't give a fuck how bad she was to you. She was horrible to you, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, that woman is there with your kids. Everything she feeling, your kids is feeling. And your kids are helpless against her. Helpless. So, irregardless of how you feel about her, personally, as the mother, you should care about her well-being. You should care about her mental well-being. If you think she's so fucking far gone and she can't be helped, then you get your babies and get the fuck up out of there. Because she's not safe. And she ain't safe.
He just get his ass and elbows and get the fuck up out of there, and that's it.
Hey, a motherfucker told me I was crazy because somebody made a post that said, if your baby mama boyfriend or something is beating up on her or something, is you going over there? Hell yeah, I'm going to handle it. You got me fucked up, nigga. I don't give a fuck. That is my business. That's my business. You're not gonna do that. It ain't got nothing to do with fucking and none of that. That's the mother of my. You will not do that. No. Mm-mm.
Yep.
That's not. It was. Yes, I will die about her too. She raised my daughter. That's my family. That's just not my baby mama. That's my family. We was together
Say that
7.
one more time.
That's my family. That ain't just my baby mama. She's family to me. Anything
And
that we
that's what these niggas don't get. Whether or not, however you feel about that broad, that is your family now. And men
yes.
don't understand that when I try to explain that to them. Like a lot of women, especially like that have been through anything, we're taught at a very early age to value y'all love above our own. That's just what it is, especially in the Black community. You're taught to desire a man's love, to do it. Everything's supposed to be about you getting and keeping a man, what you look like, even so far as to what you do for you have to bring something to you got to blah blah blah. All this is about a man. Nobody ever teaches a young woman to just be happy, to just whatever it is you are, whatever it is you like, whatever it is okay. We are completely just like y'all only rite of passages. Our bodies, our only sense of power is whatever the fuck we feel like we can drain off of y'all, usually sexually. That's why you got a lot of female succubuses running around this motherfucker eating good than a bitch, because men will give it up, because sexually and like I said, energetically, we know y'all are a little bit weaker than us. That is our defense against something that is physically stronger than us, but made to be comparable with us. That is the playing field. Period. Point blank. So a lot of women, they use the only thing they have as a defense against men, and that's the pussy. I'm not trying to be funny, but it's the pussy. I hear so many women bragging about they pussy, they pussy, they pussy, they pussy, they pussy. Girl, if you don't knock it the fuck off, your pussy do the same thing the rest of them do. I'm not trying to be funny. You might be able to tighten up a muscle, twerk a little bit, or whatever. But if your energy is disgusting and nasty, there is nothing you can do to uplift that man at all. And there's nothing that he can do to uplift you. If two healthy human beings are not coming in contact with another, somebody's finna get hurt. And when you have two sick people coming in contact with them, everybody's gonna get hurt. But then everybody
Coronavirus. It's
right,
gonna
everybody
spread like the coronavirus.
we are the coronavirus. That's what I'm saying. We keep trying to act like we gotta hide against some virus outside. We sleeping next to viruses every fucking night.
Every fucking night.
They nutting all in us. We putting it all on their face. Like genital juice is abounding out this motherfucker. But you know what? Ain't nobody having conversations. And then you end up, the moment you have to have any type of real conversation or deal with anything real, it's a problem. It's a problem. Grand opening, grand closing. Don't nobody's relationships last because you ain't talking about shit. You weren't talking about shit when you met. You met them. They was cute. They looked like who they said they was on Facebook. No filter. Let's fuck.
Yep.
That's where it's going at this point. And then the moment for you to meet the real person, it's a problem.
You know motherfuckers.
Yeah, I'm like,
motherfuckers' Facebook names. I swear that they got something going. Bitch, if you don't sit down somewhere.
Girl.
Yeah, I'm like really like almost, if it wasn't for the fact for the radio station and me doing what I'm trying to do, I swear I think I would be done with social media. Shit is just, and the more I sit back and look at some of the shit that goes on it, it's like, you know, I'm an asshole. I like to make fun of shit. That's just what I do. When I posted the motherfucking post to the chick, what's her name?
What's on your head about Jada?
About not Jada, the other girl that cut her hair off, Tiffany Haddish.
Oh.
Yeah.
They got mad at me about that. Talking about all that. They got mad at me about posting something about the women with the natural hair and woo. So now they get mad at me about posting the T.I. shit. Talking about, oh, that's fake. That it's actually not fake. Y'all just not old enough to remember that shit circulated way back when T.I. We was on MySpace back then when that picture first popped up. Yeah. That's just not new. Hey, you just so mean. This is cruel. Oh my fucking God! Get a goddamn sense of humor.
But meanwhile, you treat the people that are in your real life like shit. Meanwhile, you make fun of and crack jokes about and motherfucking hate on and wish bad on the motherfuckers that you see every fucking day, bro.
This nigga don't even know you.
You laugh at people paying every day. People you know.
Y'all got mad at me for making fun of Tiffany Haddish for cutting all her motherfucking hair off. And here's a woman that...
I think black women are just sensitive about black men making fun of us in any capacity right now.
This is a woman who makes fun of people for a living.
I didn't see it.
She said something to the effect of she was funny looking or ugly or something.
She was.
And I was like, she still looked, but I still looked at her and seen the beauty though. So I was like, no she's not.
I see that no line.
She does look rough, but she fixed her fucking eyebrows and she actually
count. Hey, slippers count.
Right.
Slippers count.
So it wasn't like she went to the fucking barber shop or none of that. Her sister
And when she came back with the
braids off, and she had her sister run and grab some clippers, and she just rubbed it off, went on, and she snapped a picture. Fuck it, it is what it is.
slippers
Then
count.
she went to the barber shop and got that shit together. And got
And
her
she
little
was cute as hell, yeah. Didn't make and I said that. I went back and said that. I posted a picture of it and I said, okay, there you go, Tim. Motherfuckers went in. I'm like, wait a minute, this woman, I'm going to tell y'all how crazy y'all sound to me. This woman makes a living telling jokes about motherfuckers.
Right.
And not only do she do that, y'all gonna go give her $40 to sit in the front row so she can talk about your ass. But y'all mad at me.
Turnabout is fair play.
If y'all don't quit, man, I'm just like, oh my goodness. Okay.
Anything you put out there, somebody somewhere is going to have an opinion. My thing is, the equivalent of posting something on social media is to say basically, hey, what do you think about this? That's why I don't, like I said, I love to post the memes, but that's why I don't post like photos too much of my kids or photos of me or no shit like that. Because at the end of the day, like, I'm here basically to spy on my kids. I ain't even gonna flex. I'm basically on Facebook to spy on my kids and see what they got going on and lurk on their posts. You know what I mean? Because sometimes I can catch the stuff that they ain't told me about, but they might be on somebody else's post talking about it. And I can piece together some of the shit, you know what I mean, that they don't necessarily tell me up front. But other than that, I can give fuck less what y'all talking about. If I open my mouth, I'm gonna drop some light and I'm gonna go about my goddamn business. And I'm gonna say what I want to, because when I log in this motherfucker, it asks for my information, not yours. So it asks me what's on my mind, not yours. Now, if you don't fuck with what's on my mind, I'm not for you, and that's the fuck okay. But what you're not getting ready to do is change what's on my mind based on how you feel about it. Fuck you. And you will be fuck all right.
And I be trying to be so nice and not just go be like, man, if you don't get the fuck off my page with this bullshit.
But we started off with all due respect.
Oh
Okay.
my God.
Email.
Either if that's too many words.
Sense of humor, man. Get a motherfucking sense of humor, because this shit is jokes for me.
But that's the thing is, a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people are going through, like I said, this is a process, and we're getting front row seats to everybody's process that wants to put it out there, period. And every part of it is not going to be pretty. Every part of it is not going to be something everybody can fucking resonate with. Every part of it is not going to, but if you decide to put it out there, then it's out there. Like I said, I choose to go through my process in private. I've been in this motherfucking house since 2017. I have no desire to take my ass out here and bother with no motherfucking body because I'm busy. Busy all motherfucking damn day long. So what goes on outside of my house, I let my kids come in and kind of put me up on what's going on, or I use social media for that, because one thing motherfuckers gonna do is share everything. I use that just so I can kind of lurk at the world and see what's going on, but do I want any parts of that? No. Some people are in this world but not of it, and those of us that are not of it don't want no parts in it right now. Because what y'all doing right now, it's not time for people like me. It's not time for that type of shit. It's just not. And I've been like this a long time, and it's cost me a lot of fucking people. People all the time be like, girl, you just weird. The way you think about shit is like, why do you think? I'd be like, all right, just keep living. Just keep on. Just pay attention. I don't know how the fuck I know certain things, but I'll let it fall out my mouth because I feel like it need to be said. And at the time, people be like, your ass is crazy. You be fucking tripping. And then when it happens, people are like, damn, this is what's happening. I'm like, yeah, I didn't know it was going to happen that way either. Like, I don't get it ain't like I'm having motherfucking prophetic dreams where I get to see exactly what's fucking happening, but I get our intuitive feelings of basically the collective feelings. So I know when turmoil's coming. I know when anxiety's coming. I don't know what's going to happen to produce those things, but I know that collectively is what's going to be going on. And I also knew that I was sick. And I'm not going to be in a position to help no motherfucking body because I'm fucked up. But me being able to have that heads up and listening to my own intuition allowed me to heal enough. So when shit did start hitting the fan, I could tell people, hey, it's going to be okay. Listen, I know you feel like this, but look, just try to do this. And this helps with that. Do this. This helps with that. But had I not had those 3 years to sit down and prepare and heal myself, I'd be out here fucked up. Real fucked up. And I thank the universe, God, whatever anybody want to call it, for them sitting me down and saying, hey, as soon as you decide to walk in your purpose, you have no worries. I told you your daily bread. You ain't missed a meal since the fuck you started walking in your purpose. Not one. Sometimes motherfuckers
think about it. The thing about what people have to realize is, just like I said, I very seldom get into the religion thing. I try not to. I believe how I believe. That's just what it is. I don't care what nobody say. I think it's all speaking of the same thing anyway. A higher power, God, universe, whatever. Okay, cool. My thing is, if it's making you a better person, and whatever you studied and you believe in and you practicing makes you a better person, and it's keeping you out of my back door, and for me, I have to bust you upside your motherfucking head for trying to kick in my house, or catch you outside trying to break in my car, or somebody, if it's gonna keep you from doing any of that bullshit, and it's gonna keep you wanting to help your people, or do, I don't care what you believe in, go for it.
Get into it. Because if it's real,
Go
that's exactly
for
what
it.
it should have you doing.
As for me, I believe it. I was raised in the church, yeah, whatever. I don't believe everything in the Bible, but what I do believe is anything that Bible tells me that is about treating people the way you want, in a proper way. That's what I go by. Like, I really don't care about Josephat begotten Sufat and Hosaphat and all that. I don't really care about all that. Okay.
Right.
Get to the boat. Everything is about boats. Get to the boat.
Let's
Let's
go
get to the
back to
boat.
this shit that I don't need to know nothing
Yeah,
about.
you know, and okay, there's proof of Lilith and it. Okay, man, I get high. I ain't got time to worry about. All I can do is get my relationship with him.
Right.
Exactly. I talk about Adam's wife. What about your wife?
Right.
You talking about what the motherfuckers in the Bible did. What are you doing?
Yeah.
That's why I keep saying, anything, politics, religion, Joe Biden, Obama, Hillary Clinton, Farrakhan, anybody but you, huh?
Everybody doing something but your ass. Fuck it.
People that are willing to be that, it's like, I don't know. It's like people, like I said, people get offended by people that. This is why I don't go out. Like I tell people, they be like, "Why you always wear sweatpants, bitch? I don't wear these sweatpants for me. I wear them for y'all." Because I don't even want real shit. I don't even want to put y'all in the frame of mind of thinking I'm out here to bother with no motherfucking body and fucking all. Like I said, I go out of my way when I go out this way. Anybody will tell you to look like I just smoked crack 5 minutes ago.
Damn.
I go out of my way. Not trying to be funny, but because I want to be left alone, and I know what don't nobody want to take on is a struggle. So I go out of my way to look like a fucking struggle. You know what I still get? Hey, Miss Queen, you beautiful. You rocking that bathrobe. No matter what I do, light shine. No matter how bad I try to fucking look, beauty shines from the inside. So I finally said, fuck, I'm just gonna burn my robe and be me, and I'm just out here like everybody else. And I used to wear the robe because it kept me covered up. You niggas that can't say nothing to me. I ain't showing no ass, no titties, no. There's nothing about me that says everything says I'm in a robe, bro. Nothing about me says you need to be saying nothing the fuck to me at fucking all. Leave me the fuck alone.
How did that work?
I would still end up encountering people, and here I am out here still doing work in this goddamn road.
Didn't work too well, huh?
I took that motherfucker all the way to Kentucky, tried to burn that motherfucker. That mama robe said, bitch, I wish the fuck you would. I've been too good to you for you to take me out of town to someplace I ain't never been and burn me and leave me alone. You better take me home. I had a whole little ceremony for my robe. The fuck? But you gotta just get up and just do some work. As you know better, like I said, you do better. But I used to have a real unhealthy definition of what love was. I really did. And you know who watched me partake in that unhealthy love? My daughter. For years and years and years, she watched me partake in this really fucked up, unhealthy version of so-called romantic love. She knew I was good on every other level, but she watched me do some real fucked up, desperate, goofy ass fucking shit. And as I healed and I got better, you know what I mean? I had to turn around and tell her, hey, I know that shit right there wasn't cool. I know when I did this, it was this, and this is where I was at, and I'm sorry. I owed her an apology before I could even call myself atoning for anything else I did. I had to atone for the most harmless person in that situation, which was my child. And as my definition of love got healthy, so did the love that I gave her, which allowed her to heal and allowed her to grow in a way that a lot of other kids don't. And then she can go out there and she can help. And if she can't help, she bring them to me. And this is the cycle. If you want to change the cycle, then you have to change sometimes you have to change the complete direction of it. If the cycle's going all the way to the motherfucking left, then you got to fight against the motherfucking grain and pass that enough behind you to other people to join in so that you can change that whole entire wind. But you can't do that by yourself. When you have a gift, you are required to give it for free. Let me reiterate that. When you have a gift, you are required to give that motherfucker for free. Now you can choose who you give it to, but it must be given for free. And that's where a lot of people gonna be fucked up at. You think you know something, or you got a little gift, so you out here trying to charge people and trying to come up off of people's pain and come up off of their fears and shit. Watch when that shit come back on your dog ass.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And I was just having a conversation about that the other day, like, because my thing with my station, you know, when these independent artists, I don't want your money. You ain't got to, I'm not about to tell you to give me 1,500 like 96.3 would tell you, give you this to play your music. Nah. Send it to me, I'll play it. I don't give a fuck. Who am I? Shit, I ain't nobody. I'm just a nigga with the means to put your music out there. I didn't like Soldier Boy. Well, what did that stop him from doing? Shit, don't look like much. It don't look like it. Me not liking that nigga stopped him doing from anything. So who the fuck am I? And I'm like, man. So I just don't want to. It's certain shit that I'm not gonna do to the art. It's already hard enough.
Exactly, and there's nothing wrong with us sharing our gifts with each other. Hell, we share them with everybody else. We give them away and sell them for dirt fucking cheap as long as a white motherfucker asks for them. So anything that I would sell to white people, I'll get it to black people for free. That's my motto. If I would sell it to white people, I'll give it to black people for free, whatever it is.
Hey,
whatever
it's crazy, because that one United Bank, the so-called the black bank.
I ain't fucking with a bank. I don't care who owns it.
I signed up for it. But what I did was I did it, but I did it. I signed up for it. I put it in, and then I went and read the reviews. And you know why I did that? Because I knew if I'd have read the reviews first, I probably wouldn't have did it. And I was right.
Yep.
Because once again, we love to put each other down. And we'll even say we do it out of love.
I was about to say.
Love. I'm doing this out of love. No, you're not.
These white folks will put y'all through the same shit to get in Key Bank, PNC or whatever. They'll put y'all through the same bullshit. But you won't complain, go on their websites and complain about them. But because this something, hey, I didn't have that problem. Shit, y'all talk about y'all still ain't, hey, I filled my shit out on Thursday. I had my card on Wednesday. Been spending like a motherfucker with that bitch too. So I don't know what to tell you. Like I don't do, that's why I never do, it's just we can't get behind nothing.
But that's everybody thinks we're supposed to be uniting right now, and I think that's what's making a lot of people frustrated because they like, I can't figure out why we can't unite. Black people can't unite for shit. Let me explain something. Black people have been, we've been united before, but it was when we had a physical looming threat over our heads all fucking damn day long. We had a very clear and overt enemy. Not because we decided they were our enemy, but because they decided that they were ours. So we were in a constant state of defense. When you're in defense mode, when you're in scared, you'll take your allies wherever you can get them, and all we had was each other. Then they started letting you integrate in the shit and start thinking that you had some say-so somewhere fucking else. But as long as you only use that say-so or that authority over people that look like you were cool with that. You were cool with that because you needed that. That helped your sense of worthlessness or whatever. But at the end of the motherfucking day, Black people, it's not time for anybody. I'm not trying to be funny. Now it's not a time for unity. We're too sick. Now is a time for separation, period. And whatever you want to separate yourself by will determine what level of reality you experience next. If you get caught up in your gender and your genitals, then you'll get caught up in the gender war. If you're caught up in your skin color or the next motherfucking skin color, then you'll get caught up in the race war. You're going to get caught up in whatever war is already raging with inside you. You will experience that war outside of you, and it'll be by your own choice.
That's what I said.
It's an energetic war, so I'm doing everything I can to keep my energy on par and to raise the energy of the people around me in case I need theirs. That is the point. I'm building allies. I'm not looking for them. I'm building them.
Exactly. That's what the Power Foundation is about to be all about. What you just said, and they not even understanding. It ain't about, man, fuck them. That's all I can say.
Black groups, all they talk about is white people.
Because
that's obsessed with them is they have been with us.
And I'm bringing this on the strength of how I feel, and if this works, and if motherfuckers just pay attention to it and let's work it. Hey, who was that? Which one of them comedians was it? She said, when women leave, they build their little nest. They take little sticks over there every other day, building their little nest, and then 30 days later, they done built that motherfucker and they out on your ass where niggas just fuck up and run out. Oh, I've been building my own sticks. So if this shit work, that's why I said we're at a prime time right now. It ain't no more time for negotiating with their ass. We got to do what the fuck we got to do.
And negotiate with yourself. That's the whole thing is,
Period.
I
Love
understand that
yourself enough.
nobody wants to feel alone. We are not designed or wired to just want to be alone. I understand that. But you also have to understand at some point, if so much of a body part is infected, at some point you gotta just cut that off. And that is what that is.
But you can't
And
go with us.
the part that's gonna be painful is watching the
Right.
choice.
Everybody can't go with you.
Exactly, and that's going to be the painful part. That's the problem is we want to take so many people with us, and we want everybody. It's not for everybody. Some people, this may be their first trip to this motherfucking rock. They maybe wasn't supposed to make it all the way on the go around this motherfucking time. Some people been here quite a few times and don't want to come the fuck back, so they want to work a little motherfucking harder because they know that at the end of that motherfucking tunnel, when they die, gonna be another motherfucking pussy hole that they gonna fall out if they don't get that shit right. And it just is what it is. You can't expect everybody to be where you're at or to go where you're going. My job is not to bring you where I'm going, it's to give you the choice. It's where you were sitting here thinking it could only be this or that, and I'm here to say, no, it can also be this. If you don't like the choices that you've been given, create a new one. You have the power and the right to do that. This is all built on some motherfuckers that decided collectively some shit was going down. And they didn't let anything, including other people that look like them, stop them.
And quit letting these motherfuckers tell you that this white man can stop you from doing shit. Fuck him.
Bruh.
Fuck him.
But it's hard to get that out of your mind when all you do
I'm so sick of that fucking excuse.
It's fucking you up.
Yeah, I'm so tired of that motherfucking excuse. But man, they do us like, man, yeah, I'm just so sick of that damn excuse that that's what it is.
But that's their fear, and I can't be mad at people that are still afraid.
Nah, I ain't mad at them.
I just can't deal with you because we ain't got no room on this team for pussy. But I understand your fear, and yes, to you it's a very real fear. It's just like I have a fear of heights. Motherfucker that fly planes don't have that fear, but bitch, you not finna tell me I'm getting up in this motherfucking plane because you ain't scared and you fly fucking planes. No, I have to be willing to say I get that. I have to leave you on the ground because that's where the fuck you feel safe.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that, you know what I mean, an earthquake won't happen to swallow your ass up right here on the ground. It's all about what you're willing to risk. And everybody's not willing to risk their comfort. They're not willing to risk their lives. Everybody doesn't have to. I'm okay with that. But what you're going to have to do is learn to shut the fuck up and get out the motherfucking way and stop trying to, but what about, no, shut the fuck up. If you're not on what we own over here, you go ahead and conversations.
Go in on. Yeah, go over there. It's okay. We ain't got time. This is not the time to be trying to now put your input in when motherfuckers is putting the work in. You come in and get in where you fit in or get your ass on out the way.
Facts.
Period. Go over here and keep fucking with them. It's okay.
Get in where the fuck you fit in. Like I said, there was a whole bunch of places I didn't fit in, so I created my own place. I fit in perfectly where I'm at. And if you fucking with me, then you gonna be fucking with the shit that I fuck with. If not, then that's fine. I'm cool on this all on my own. But like I said, that comes from you literally going into them places in yourself and coming to terms with loving every single part of you. Like period, point blank. Every part is not good and flowers and roses. Some motherfucking days, like I said, first of all, every day before 10:30, you better not say shit to me. And every day before I've had my second cup of coffee, you better not look in my motherfucking direction because I'm not going to be responsible for how the fuck I talk to you. I have a sign on my door, and I've been putting them up for 4 years now. And I put this all the time. It's, please don't come to my house unannounced. Don't knock on my door. Don't climb my fence. Don't come to my windows. Like, it's fucked up that I have to put a sign on the door because you would think a motherfucker's exaggerating, but no, these are things that actually fucking happen. People will come to my windows, climb over my fucking anything because people are in so much fucking pain that whatever they have to do to get to something that's going to help them make, because I don't heal people. People like, you're a healer. No, I'm not healing you. I'm showing you what you need to do. I'm trying to show you that you are capable of your own regeneration. And that takes work. And the level of self-love that you will gain from doing the work on your own is far going to exceed any love that you feel like you're going to get.
Love that you can get from anywhere, anybody else.
So I could no longer, like, I still get upset because even when people ring that door, I finally took the doorbell down a few weeks ago because I just could not with people. Like, because I started realizing y'all being disrespectful because I'm telling you that I need you to, like, don't just come over here. Give me a minute. Tell me that you're coming. Because when you're coming over here, y'all coming over here for an energy that you haven't developed yet. So all you can do is take from me when you come here. You don't have anything to offer me. You're coming here because you need from me. So if the only thing I ask in return is to be left alone to recharge, since you can't do that for me, you not doing that, I start to take that as a sign of respect. And I've had to start training myself to, when you hear somebody knock on that door, don't you get your ass up if your phone ain't rang. Don't do that. But I was so programmed in service. My whole life past nervous. It's service. Like anybody that knows me knows my whole life is I've spent it. I might have been fucked up in the street, but I've always served my family and the people that I love. I'm wired that way. So once you come into my life and I give any type of fuck about you, I'm almost wired to serve you. So unless you can be comfortable and you can be responsible with that level of power over what I do and don't do, I'm gonna have to be real particular about who I share that power with. Because you're eventually going to start abusing that if you're not catching the lesson. The less you come over here, people get mad because they feel like, oh, motherfucker just used me, and then once shit got good for him, I don't hear from him no more. That used to be me. I used to take that shit personal. Motherfuckers forever coming around me when they life falling apart, when shit bad, when they don't have nobody else, but the moment shit start looking up and it gets better, all of a sudden I'm not hearing from them no more. And I used to take that shit personal. I did. I used to take that as a sign of disrespect or you used me. And it wasn't none of that. They needed healing. You gave it to them. Bitch, do you hang out with your doctor when you ain't sick? No, I don't. So when I don't hear from them, I assume that you're doing well enough to not need me, and that makes me happy. That makes me proud. That makes me feel like I did exactly what the fuck I was supposed to do. But you can't be all up in your own fifis and your own ego trying to teach somebody else how to direct their own. You have to be better than all of the shit that you're saying you're helping somebody heal from, but you have to heal from that first. So you have to be alone. You have to deal with yourself, and nobody want to do that. You'd rather invite a piece of shit into your life so you have something to blame your anxiety and depression on, other than the fact that you just don't like you. So what you do is you attract another motherfucker that's gonna treat you exactly how you feel about yourself, so you can get mad at them.
Yep, you have to be willing to say. Before you can even get into healing yourself, you got to be able to say, look, I'm willing to accept everything that I done fucked up and be real about fucking that you fucked up. There's nothing wrong with fucking up. It's gonna happen. You're not perfect. So get that. Forgive yourself for that shit. You didn't know some shit you didn't know.
Facts. And everything you fucked up was not it was not a reaction to something else. Some of the shit you fucked up was just your own action.
Just your own actions.
You decided to do. It wasn't a reaction. It wasn't because they did this, so you did that.
None of that.
You did that, you knew it was wrong, and you did it anyway. What you took my flaws, and you use my flaws to rationalize your flaws, and that don't work. You can't heal yourself through another motherfucker.
I keep telling people, until people realize that the principle don't change, that the circumstance does not change the principle, they just don't get it. I don't give a fuck if you say you stealing to feed your family or you just say you stealing to be stealing. The end result, stealing is wrong. Period. I don't give a fuck what reason you did it is wrong. Now I might feel a little more different for you because you had a reason in your eyes to do it. This motherfucker over here, he just like, but you can't justify it and say that stealing is right because he did it to steal. No, it's not. It's understood in his situation why he did it, but it was still wrong. Okay, so what's wrong with that?
Nothing, but nobody wants to be able to, everybody will take accountability when they get something right. But when they get something wrong, there has to be a reason behind it. Like, say the person that's stealing because they want to be stealing, maybe they're a kleptomaniac. You know what I mean? Maybe they got something going on in their brain that we don't even fucking know about that compels them to steal. Maybe they grew up with absolutely nothing and stealing was a habit that they picked up that they never broke once they didn't have to any motherfucking more. Like, you never know what somebody's reason is for doing shit. I've done some wrong things before and I'm flat out be like, yeah, I was wrong about that shit. And I did it. Like, I'm not gonna say it was because of this. It was because of that. It was wrong.
You just did
what was going on in my mind at the time rationalized that this was right. If I'm hungry and a motherfucker got some food and my baby hungry, I'm gonna steal that shit and I'm gonna be wrong about it and I'm not gonna be sorry. That's what people have.
At all, and ain't nothing wrong with
that. Because you're wrong, you have to also be sorry. No, I'm willing to be wrong and unapologetically wrong.
Yeah. Fuck it, I did it. Yeah, I did it. It was wrong.
If you're a person that offered me some food and I declined the food that you offered me to go steal some shit, then you can tell me how wrong I am. But unless you did anything to rectify my situation, I don't give a fuck what your perception of right and wrong is in relation to my situation, because not only did you not experience it, you did nothing to alleviate it. So I really don't give a fuck how you feel about it. I accept that you feel that way, but I'm not gonna do anything about it. And that's where people have it fucked up with a lot of people sometimes. Like, I'll tell you real quick, yeah, I was wrong, but I don't give a fuck that I was wrong about that. I don't. That's where I was at. My mind was at that motherfucking time. I wouldn't do that shit to you.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. It's about recognizing. And that's what I'm saying. Instead of making that excuse, yeah, I was wrong, so fucking what? I did it. I did it because I felt like doing it. I knew it was wrong, but I don't care. Period. It ain't about to make me a bad person because I did it. Fuck you. If that's how you feel, that's on you.
Exactly. Now, if I did something to wrong you, and at the time it made perfect sense to me because of how I felt at the time, and now if time changes the way I feel and I can look back and see it differently, then I would definitely tell you, yeah, I see it differently now. But at the time, I can't apologize for what I thought was completely. I don't do anything too much off emotion. Anything I do is usually premeditated. So you waiting for me to apologize for some shit that I literally, nigga, that was some of my best work. You want me to apologize for that just because it was wrong? No. Absolutely not. I cultivated that in my mind, molded around, polished it, shined it, buffed it to a petty perfection before I put that out there. Hell no. I'm not sorry for my best work. Was it wrong? Absolutely. But at the time, that was exactly what the fuck I wanted to do. I did that shit to perfection, bro. Yes, it hurt you. That was probably the point. If I did it and it hurt you, I probably meant to. I very rarely hurt people.
That's probably what it was intended for, goddamn it. I did it, yes.
You know what I mean? Look, and whatever was going on.
And I'm not about to try to justify myself in doing it because of something you did to me, because you already know that it had to be something, because you know I'm not this type of person.
And it didn't affect me the same way, to keep it 100. Like, it's a different experience for the person wronging and the person that feels like they're being wrong. The person being wrong is going to remember that shit with a clarity and on a level that the person wronging them probably never will, because pain is what encodes memory with a lot of us. So if the shit don't hurt bad enough, we don't even remember it.
Yep.
Right.
So when people tell me I hurt them, I'm never going to be like, no, I don't feel like I did that, or I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm like, hey, if that's what I did at that time, I was fucked up. I was fucked up. My bad for being fucked up, but that's the best I can give you. I was fucked up at that point. If it happened the way you said it happened, and being that I don't have a clear recollection because I was the motherfucker doing it, I have to trust your perception of it. Period. Now, if I don't care about you, I can give a fuck less. You can get it off your chest and move on with your motherfucking life. There is no atonement coming from me. You're going to have to get that closure just by telling me how you feel about it. But if I give a fuck about you, you goddamn right, I'm going to say, hey, if that's how you felt, is there anything I can do to atone for that? And I don't have a problem doing that if I give a fuck enough to do that. But you don't decide that for me. I decide what I give a fuck enough about to atone for. Some shit I feel like you had coming, and 20 years later, I still feel like you had that shit coming, bro.
So fuck you, right? It is what it is.
Like, now, if I did it to you tomorrow, you know what I mean? Then, yeah, you might have a leg to stand on. But back then, you have to charge that to the game. And a lot of us, like I said, we still, sometimes, like I said, people tell you all the time, you got to accept that apology that you never get. Apologize to yourself for participating, and then that other person's apology won't hold so much weight with you.
Exactly.
Yeah. But we got to say something for the next show. We got to say something for the next show. What's this today? What's next? Not next Monday, the Monday after next. What day is that?
I don't know. I think that's like the 12th or something, ain't it?
Right. I don't even know.
Let me see. It is.
But yeah, you definitely got it.
The 10th.
The 10th?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep, the 10th.
Alrighty. So, the 10th. I gotta figure out what we're gonna talk about on the 10th.
Shit, pick a topic, any topic.
Tie into the self-love and the...
Because it ended up still ping-ponging around everywhere, so.
Right, I was gonna say shit. We talk about as much as we need to.
Hey, you know, so we can talk, we can do that, because who gonna stop us from doing it?
Facts. And sometimes, you know what I mean, you just have to put things out there. You never know when somebody will come across it and when they're gonna need something and what they might need to hear. Like I said, I'm grateful just for this type of thing. Like I said, coming up, we didn't have these type of resources. If you was fucked up, if colorism had you down, your family, whatever was going on, there wasn't all these resources. There wasn't all this information for you to be able to figure out what's going on with you. You just had to be like, that's the way it is, and develop all these maladaptive behaviors and coping mechanisms just to fucking function. And now we're at a point where we have kids that are not G'ing for that shit, and they looking at us like, so, right. Bitch, you serious? Like, you've been wrong this whole time? That'll fuck you up. But we have to be willing to say, yes, this whole time, bro, I was fucking wrong. Let's figure this out.
Fucking wrong.
Because on a motherfucking energetic level, I ain't trying to be funny. Our children are more like our peers at this point, as far as any type of emotional maturity is concerned. A lot of our kids have surpassed us.
Yep, pretty much.
because they have access, they had resources, you know what I mean? And that's not saying that we're bad people, it's just we didn't have it. But if you know you've been ignorant, you have to be willing to take education wherever it comes from, even your children. Especially your children, because they're half you. And they know your dog ass better than anyone.
From the mouths of babes comes words of wisdom.
Facts.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
Hey, I'm about to grab one of those and head down your way.
All right, ladies. Hey, next, the 10th, August 10th, we'll be back with the Stoop and old Jones and May Mommy. Now it looks like May Mommy's enjoying the scene.
Yes, thanks. Maybe it'll be sunny out when you're outside, because every once in a while you can get a nice little show outside, but it was wet.
I don't fuck with the sun.
Well, it'll be going down by then. It'll be 8 o'clock here.
Oh, okay, yeah, that'll work just fine.
Melanated, allergic to the sun ass outside.
Okay, I'm this motherfucking black and allergic to the fucking sun. How that work?
Girl, Jesus wept.
Girl.
I'll see you on the 10th, though, no.
All right, I'll wrap it y'all later. Appreciate y'all.
All right, right on.
All right.